Hello, all of the Jack Kirby fans and the denizens of the fourth world. How's it going? It's Friday, so that means it's Fourth World Friday, and I hope everyone's doing well. We got three pretty good ones. These are all good comics. So I've already posted a poll, and we've already got votes. We're looking at three really good ones. It's Jimmy Olsen, Mr. Miracle, and Forever People. Number 137, number 2, and number 3. So I do have a poll out there for your favorite issue of this week. And if you've already read those, cool. If not, you can pick at the end. I don't know what's my favorite. I've got a lot of notes on these, so I'll have to kind of see what I think as we go. But coming up, so again, 1 week from today will be Fourth World Friday again, same time. But this Monday, I'll be on Clobberin Times channel on Earth B doing another Bob Haney review. So that's going to be super fun. And next Thursday, Sean and I are going to do some Transformers Thursday. And we're going to be doing the next 3 episodes. So episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the first cartoon, the G1 cartoon. So that'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to kind of alternate comics, cartoon, and we'll go through all of it. And I will just keep going until we don't do it anymore. But we'll cover for sure Headmasters. We'll for sure do Super God, Master Force, and what's after that? Victory, I think. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, Victory. Sean's giving me the thumbs up. So yeah, Victory. We'll do that for sure because I own those, and then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe we'll do some of the Beast stuff too. Yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, let's get going. We got 3 comics to talk about, so let's bring Sean in.
Hey, man. So,
all right. Oh, these are so good this week, man. Oh man. I'm telling you, who's coming out of, who came out of nowhere for me is Mr. Miracle. I literally did not care. It's Jack Kirby, so I automatically have to care. But that was like, Mr. Miracle, okay, whatever. I think I'd seen too many newer Mr. Miracle things. I didn't think they were all that interesting. Yeah. But reading them from this number 1, holy shit.
And I think that's a through line for all of these Fourth World comics is that all these characters live on now, and there's tons and tons of comics like through the 80s and 90s and 2000s and etc. And you sort of like shrug and like, okay, fine. When you read the essence, like when you read like Kirby writing them, they're super interesting. And like the whole Mr. Miracle thing, where like the first time I read issue 1, I wasn't here when you guys did that because my internet was stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought it's like, well, who's this guy? This is awesome. It's like
I know
it was a big surprise. And I remember reading this second issue just recently for this. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's so stupid. I'm like, they should do a Mr. Miracle comic, and of course they have. But they're not good.
No, they suck. We're gonna let's bring our fancy pants co-host here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hey, Clobby.
Hey, Clobby.
Oh, there you go.
Nice equation. And you know what? I didn't even use the Kirby representation of Darkseid on that one. Yeah. So I should be struck in the pits of hell.
Oh my God!
But it was based on his. So.
Okay, fine. We'll give it a pass. But no. I wanted to say so. Mr. Miracle started up not too long ago, and he was a backup story in one of either an Action or maybe it was Action Comics or maybe it was Detective. I don't remember.
Right.
I was like, oh, Mr. Miracle. I'm like, yeah, let's. And I'm like, it's like super bland. I didn't care at all. And I thought, Mr. Miracle's not very good. And then I'm like, well, we're going to read it for this Kirby thing. And it's the damn best. And I don't know. It's low key is like maybe my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's so hard because all these are so good. But shit, man, Mr. Miracle came out of nowhere. Like, look, everybody knows that Darkseid and New Gods are awesome. That's like a fact. Everybody just automatically knows.
Oh, yeah.
We know that Jimmy Olsen, he's a cool character. Superman's in it. So that's going to be good because it's Superman in it. So that's a fact. Easy. Forever People and Mr. Miracle are sort of those two where, does anyone care about these? But I really like Forever People and I'd read it before. But Mr. Miracle, I don't know. I'm like super pumped for this Mr. Miracle comic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've always had a soft spot for Mr. Miracle.
Oh, like issue 1, I was completely stunned. It's like, oh, I'm Thaddeus, whatever. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then that guy comes like Scott. I'm like, oh wait, Scott, you're Mr. Miracle. Who's this guy? And it's like he gets killed. I'm like, oh my god, he just takes it over. That's cool. The first 2 issue. What issue are we on now? 2?
Yeah, for this one, yeah.
Yo, these 2 issues could be the movie. Man, I would 100% if they were going to do Mr. Miracle as a show and literally just recreate these.
Yeah.
You don't even need a script. You have the script. You just buy the Mr. Miracle. You could buy Mr. Miracle on its own, just the
and you have an explanation for the costume. It's like, I don't know, but like for the normies are like, oh, it's so colorful. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to be a show. It's a show costume, and then he takes it over. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, you have a script ready to go with these issues. You could easily do this. They're never going to, but you could easily make this with today's budget. Just think about how cool the effects would be. Like he's got the box thing, and like, oh my god.
Well, a superhero as an escape artist, it has always been unique, and it's the thing is that, like it's never really capitalized on with new comics. I don't know what these guys. I know why they make new comics. It's the same for all of this stuff, like Shazam. They do it for the copyright. They're trying to retain the copyright. That's it. But like, put some effort into it, man. Like, come on. Like, are you not inspired? Gosh.
Oh, yeah, and like,
absolutely.
I don't know. Chris is here. Thanks, buddy. Dark Side, yes, Dark Side. And we got Comic Cap Collectibles. What's going on, dude? It could not be reached, of course. Bruce Campbell on Cameo. Oh my God, is Bruce Campbell on Cameo? I don't know. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. That would be really interesting. Then I would definitely have him say hello, Mr. Yancey Pants, so I could put that on. That'd be awesome.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be the best.
Houdini tried. Oh, seriously, yeah, movies and stuff. Yeah. Well, I don't know. They just don't seem to want to do a lot of like fun things. There's a couple of I really like this latest Batman with Chip Zdarsky. This Batman's been pretty good.
Yeah.
And I liked. There's a couple that are okay. Like I'm not saying 100% of new comics are trash. In fact, there's like a handful that I still think are really fun. But
you could say it.
Yeah, but I mean, you go back to these, and it's like you're like, holy crap!
Oh yeah, this is comics.
No, I know, I know.
It's so much better. I mean, I bask in them. Even the silly ass crap we're doing with the Legion right now.
Right.
At least that's fun.
It's fun. And my wife is having more fun than we are because I'm really playing it up with her. Like I told you, like I'm always like, oh my God, nobody likes Superboy. They all hate him. What happened? and then she'll be like, oh no, and like she'll play it out like, oh no, will it be okay? I was like, I don't know. I've got to see what happens in this issue. Right? So we kind of
play robot, alternate dimensional character, or what's a third one? Like there's 3 tropes. It's like
okay, we're gonna do the Rolodex. Oh, no, let's do it. Let's do a D20. Let's do the Adventure Comics 20-sided dice, or I don't even know if there's 20. Maybe 10 is enough, or maybe even 6-sided dice is enough. It's like, okay, roll it. What's it gonna be? Oh, I'm getting alternate universe. Okay.
Yeah. So doppelganger,
doppelganger, alternate universe, like hypnotized,
or something entrances them, like like another form of kryptonite or something. There you go.
Kryptonite, right? Yeah, rainbow kryptonite or whatever. Like
yes. Yeah. I couldn't in good conscience stay with that. I love the Great Darkness Saga. That's I hate to say it, probably one of the greatest Dark Side faces ever. That one I had on there, but it is ripped from Kirby. Homage to Kirby, but it's still, in fact, I think he did the pencils, but I'm not sure. I think Heath Giffen did, so I'm not sure, but we got to go. So I had to switch to Kirby.
Cool. Yeah, you've got the proper one now, yes. Quagnar's here. How's it going?
Got Wagnar.
Let's take a look here. Okay, so let me look at my notes, and then, Club, you'll get the credits for us in a second, right?
Full disclosure, this is the one I voted for.
Yep. It's bloody. Okay, look. Yeah. It's tough on these to vote because objectively, this one's probably the best one. But the thing with me is that I know this is going to be awesome because it's Superman fighting a monster. Like there's a lot of action in it. Yes. Mr. Miracle comes out of nowhere for me. It's almost like I'm so surprised. I was like, wow, shit. Like the first Mr. Miracle, I was like, wow, this is so awesome. What the hell? Like what happened? And same with this next one. I was like, wow, this is so cool. And it's like, I know this is going to be awesome. Like I saw this cover. I'm like, oh yeah, this is 10 out of 10. I mean, obviously this is going to be awesome. But Mr. Miracle, I kind of like being surprised. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, sure.
It's weird. It's like when you see a movie that you didn't think was going to be good or you didn't hear about it. It's like the first time you saw Army of Darkness. I saw that before Evil Dead 1 or 2. I just saw the cover. Yeah. I saw the cover and I thought, oh, this looks like it's me. Like if there's one movie that represents, yeah.
It's so different though.
Yeah. It's different than the Evil Deads, yes. But I love all three evil. Well, I love all the Evil Dead things. But anyway, so whatever. Okay, so what's the credits?
All right, here we go. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, Volume 1, as if there are any others. Number 137. It was it's release date, cover date April 1971. Cover artist Jack Kirby, Neil Adams, Gaspar Saladino, who I think most of it covering. Yes. They had Neil. This is one of those rare occasions where they had Neil do the Superman face, which happened a few times. Anyway, interior writer, Jack King Kirby, penciler, Kirby, inkers, Vinnie Coletta, but Murphy Anderson listed as a credit, which means he is the artist on all of the Superman faces.
Okay.
Editor. Jack King Kirby editing his own book because he had the clout to do that back then. With E. Nelson Bridwell working on as well, the well-known DC Comics encyclopedia of the time, E. Nelson Bridwell there. So there you go on your credits, sir.
Okay, and Quagnar just asked who redrew the Superman faces, so we just answered that.
Yeah, Neil Adams. Neil Adams on the cover, but Murphy Anderson.
Yeah. So cover was Neil Adams. Yeah. Oh my gosh! So we've got the thing with 4 arms, and I mean, it kind of is like a little bit like the Thing, but also a thing, which is just a monster with 4 arms. Yep. So they teased this last time, and the 4-armed terror, and like this guy is like pretty epic. This is a great like page here. I like how there's like stuff in the foreground. Like it's like it feels like he's coming towards you, like because there's like stuff blocking his path. I don't think. Do you see that often at this time in this era? I don't know. I'm not a historian, so I felt, whoa, this looks cool. Like having like stuff in front of me here. Like I don't know how many times we've seen that.
Yeah, that has dimension to it.
Yeah, having dimension.
Well, all of his pages usually do. So yeah, I think it's just simply a matter of that. It's just you don't see any depth to any of the art anymore. I mean, I don't stand at the counter and I don't go to the rack and open up every comic. I don't affect any new comic. So I'm just saying what I've seen of new stuff on those occasions. There's very, very little attention to detail here. Clearly, Jack was the editor, and he was right. This was the time he just moved over there. He's brand new right now at DC. Before all the I won't go into all the long, dreary stories about what happened to him where he got screwed over. But at this point, he's the golden boy. DC has, I mean, they have gutted Marvel doing this. They have taken a shot across the bow and blew the whole damn ship into the water. They think. I'm not saying it happened. Right. That's what this was meant to be. Yeah. So they went and got the other team's star quarterback, if you see what I'm saying. They went and got their star pitcher, or whatever it was. They got the superstar that they thought was going to break them the championship that their opponents have been having every damn year. So he could do whatever he wanted. And Vinnie Coletta, who was a lot of things, was efficient. And I've looked at a lot of these because if you look at other Vince Coletta stuff, Jesus God Almighty, he erases. He's well known for erasing backgrounds and details and panels. Well, Jack was having none of it back then. I do know that because they talked about it. He says, Jack said, look, don't erase stuff. He did it with Marvel, let him get away with erasing Jack stuff. So somehow, some way, Vinny, who was He was freelancing. I don't know. Maybe Jack brought him over there. Because he's been around a while. He says, "Look, I don't erase it." And as you can see, there's plenty of attention to detail. Although I've seen some stuff where even in the fourth world, he kind of cinched him up a little bit. Jack wouldn't, for the most part, allow it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is again, if stuff is erased, and you're just like, oh, how epic was this? Because it's pretty cool anyway. There's like a lot. It just starts right off with like a battle. This is I remember like going back and reading those Captain Americas like from 100 and up. I think Jack did like a year of it or something before he stopped.
Yeah.
And those are like crazy action. Like they always start off with Captain America, like just like there's like some kind of either battle or whatever. And this reminds me of that. It's like,
and you know what? That was the same deal as this. He just jumped back over to Marvel because they got treated so poorly at DC that they were like, "Hey, come on, Jack, back." And he even had to make a deal with Stan that his little A-heads that work for him would leave him alone. They'll do it. And that's why those Captain America comics are out now bonkers with no clarity.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Like,
In the best possible way. They look the page is so unreal, crazy looking, but I love it. I can look at it forever.
yeah, and with the colors too, like they're really epic. And like those are the ones that I was getting. And actually I've got a pretty good amount. I got Captain America 100, which is the big one.
That's a different. I was thinking 200.
Oh yeah, no. So I meant 100, and then he came back. Yeah, and then I've got some of those as well.
193 through about 216.
Yeah, I've got some of those also. But I'm talking about the first, the 100, 102, 103, 4.
Oh, those were great. Yeah, I was actually talking about his second run, but I got
okay.
Those are still great though.
Oh yeah, those are a super action packed.
Oh, God.
Also, those are the ones I was looking at.
The best. Yeah.
So anyway, so we get this thing is just destroying the outsiders. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like it's just these guys are just getting destroyed. There's not really much to say. You can just admire the the pages.
One guy's name is Yango, and he appears a little later on in this issue, like leading, like stepping up as a leader or whatever.
Yeah, because Jimmy's
I thought that was a neat little detail he added in. It's like now he's like more mature and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just blam, blam, blam. Nothing's working on this guy. So the four-armed terror absorbs energy, and he wants to eat. He basically is eating energy or whatever.
Radiation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I made this into an iPhone wallpaper or a smartphone wallpaper for anyone who wants it on my Facebook group. So you can go on the Facebook group and find that. It's awesome. I mean, this is wicked.
I love that shit. I love the machine, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I mean, like this
instrument somehow.
The solar phone.
Yeah, solar phone. Yeah, it's a solar phone. I mean, for all we know, it could have just been a typewriter, and it just is like But I'll say this: like when you look at some of this designs that Jack did, even for like 2001 and stuff like that, like some of the other more random comics, it does look like futuristic stuff that actually looks futuristic. Like when they draw something futuristic, you're always like, okay, but when he does something like some weird technology, you're like, whoa, this actually looks like it
looks alien.
It looks alien, yeah. Like this is alien, right?
But the design of it looks cool too because it kind of looks practical. It's like you don't know what it is,
right?
It plays music, and he's working some keys, and you see these things, and you figure they go up and down maybe, and like there's motion sort of suggested in like everything he does in this machine. It's incredible. Most people just draw a machine, and it just sort of is a block, and this thing sort of has a life of its own.
Like you can see, like, okay, this thing's connected here, and then there's like some source, maybe a power source, and then there's things here is connected, and it actually comes out of the page. It's bigger than this, so
yeah. Who would think of all this detail to put there? Yeah, you're right. There's a power source there. It's like
right, and it's like
connected through that hose. And,
exactly. It's connected, and so he's hitting the keys, and then this is moving. And then this is producing some sort of weird, like a hypnotic effect or something like that. Yeah. Hey, Arkham, how's it going?
Hey.
So it's producing some sort of an effect. And then here we've got the effect of everyone's like, ooh, it's sort of like a connected, I don't want to say,
it's psychedelic.
It's psychedelic. You're right. Yeah. And they're all like, ooh, this is cool. But That's not going to last long because there's a 4-armed terror going around. Oh, wait, no shit. Before that, though, here's what they're experiencing. Isn't this so neat?
There's 3 pages of this stuff again, the cut and paste
right.
stuff. Yeah.
I like this.
This is a Kirby collage with comic images inside of it. This was always kind of, it's really trippy. It's like almost like it's some sort of a, I don't want to say a holodeck type thing, but it is something like a virtual reality thing that they're inside of. Was there anyone talking about virtual reality in 1971?
No. Look at how awesome this looks.
There was some talk about holo technology and things like that. Gene Roddenberry actually met with one of the guys before he put the holodeck on an animated series episode. He actually met with the guy. He actually met with the guy who's one of the biggest theorists on that subject, and that's why there's an episode of an animated series that has called it the Rec Room, and it was using holo technology.
Yep. I've seen all the animated series. I like all of those.
Similar to that. That episode was called Practical Joker, but this is similar to that. There's some sort of crazy.
Yeah.
They're all in their consciousness are in there. I don't know what it is.
Well, they're sharing it. If you saw earlier, they're actually like holding hands, so it's all connected. They're all connected.
Right. Yes.
And then they're all sharing this kind of psychedelic dream world here. Hey, Simply Steve.
Well, of course, he has to put he has to put like ancient architecture there as well. There's some sort of Aztec stuff going on there in the top right corner. I love all of this. It's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
these are awesome.
He seems to fit this stuff in quite often in these.
Imagine when you're 8, 9, 10 years old and seeing this stuff.
You're like, whoa.
And a couple of his Marvel books, he'd done it. Don't get me wrong, but other than those, you've never seen anything in the comic book like this in a comic book before.
Right. So yeah, we'll continue on. So now basically they're going to get snapped out of this because there's like, boom, you're like, what the shit happened here?
An earthquake or something.
And they're like, oh my God. And then Superman's like, okay, it's okay. I've got this. Let me go check it out.
I'm Superman. It's like,
I'm Superman.
You panicked about.
Yeah. Well, they're kids. Man, look at this guy. This guy's, you've got everything under control, Sean. You're fine.
We got problems, Superman. Report for a briefing.
Yeah, we got. There's like shit going on. Stop doing your psychedelic
or anything, stuff. Man. Like, dude.
I'll say something. I want to point this out. I like when not Clark, but when Superman is engaged in things that are not superhero related that he needs to like. I like that Superman's like, look, I'm just listening to music and having this kind of psychedelic thing going on. Yeah. It's one of the things I liked in even in All-Star Superman where, he's just sitting and it's like, he's like sitting on the edge of a cliff or something. Then he's just like, kind of like, his legs are swinging or something. It's like, yeah, like, if you're Superman, you're going to, you can take a second here and listen to some music for Christ's sakes. Like, anyway.
I think when he was buttering his bread in that previous Jim.
I love that. I like Superman eating at the big dinner table.
Dinner,
Yeah, well, he's got to eat. I eat when I'm hungry. It's like.
Yep. I love when they get pissed off at him calling them kids.
Yes.
Now stay put.
I really like this angle that like I'm like this is like a movie angle like where you're like you're like kind of like underneath them. That's kind of fun.
Everything's cinematic with Jack, even though it wasn't because he watched a lot of movies. So.
All right, so here's the cause of all the calamity. It's this 4-armed terror guy. He's got a lot to say here. Ark. So, ark. I understand what he's saying, but I'm not going to tell you guys because I want you to be. I want you to not know. So there's just massive quakes here. He's like destroying all this shit. And then Yango Unchained is like, all right, it's like we gotta get our shit together here. I like this guy, as you were pointing out earlier, Sean. It's like this guy's like, we gotta. This guy's like, God damn, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's like, oh, God, I'll take care of this.
I love it. Man, I'm seeing Kirby Superman flying. It just got me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh.
So now the Whiz Wagon. So the kids are basically saying, well, we want to go and follow Superman. And Superman really doesn't want them to follow because there could be some really serious danger.
Yeah.
So he goes a little bit quicker here. well, first he comes here to see.
First, he leaves in the dust and says, "Let's see you later, boys."
Yeah, he takes off on them. And he's like, okay, well, here's all this stuff that's just been destroyed here. He's like, what the hell's going on? It's debris. So he goes through and he's following the radioactive guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, look at this. It's like holding him and then punching him. You're like, oh man.
The other arms.
So you've got one arm holding his arm here, and then two holding him down, and he's pounding with this hand. And what he says here is absolutely crazy. So I'm not going to translate it though. You'd have to. It's very vulgar. So I don't want to say it.
Yes, Jack liked to have his aliens cuss a lot. Right?
And then it takes
his monsters cuss.
His monster. Yeah, it's a monster. Yep. And then it's like boom. It gives him like a super smash.
Shades of Lucifer. Wow.
Shades of Lucifer. Yeah.
What in the hell?
What a great day.
Great Shades of Elvis.
So then, I love this sonic gun or something. It's like literally shooting sound waves at the guy. That's kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
But it's like, Jimmy, wait, that won't work. I suspect he has two brains. I don't know where that's okay. To coordinate his complex body structure. That's pretty cool. Like, Superman is also smart, right? Like, he understands that, okay, the anatomy of this creature to be such that of what it is, that he would need to have two brains to function or whatever. So that's kind of cool. The four-armed predator reacts with the agility of a spider. He fires a crackling web of energy at his adversaries. Oh, they're all getting engulfed in this thing.
Or whatever, yeah.
And they're like, whoa, they're all flipping around here. You're like, and then he just literally like lifts it. He like power lifts it, and then just launches it. I mean, I don't know what to say. The guy just launched them. You're like, all right. And then now that those guys are out of the way, my hunger is back. So I'm like, let's go back to like destroying shit.
Yeah.
And then here's the highway through the danger zone. Highway through. Okay. He breaks through, and you got Mokari and Simeon. That's it.
Mokari and Simeon.
Yeah.
Couple of adults.
Yeah, they're the adults, but they look cool. They look
cool, but they never come back after this.
Well, someone will bring them back. If Tarantino was writing comics, he'd bring these guys back and make them awesome.
Well, yeah, because he always goes for deep cuts, right?
Yeah, he always gets like some actor that everyone thought was trash and then brings them back and then makes them cool again or whatever.
Yeah. Like Travolta. Yeah, anyway.
Travolta, yeah, he was zero. And then,
he was nothing, and he's in Lucas.
He came back and he's
never looked back.
And never, so Laverne and Shirley here are like, oh, what's going on?
Good thing we have a bunch more. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no! Can you believe that this issue, like, okay, I mean, this is crazy. This entire thing was 10 out of 10. Like, there wasn't even one page of anything trash happening.
No.
Like, this is the most unbelievable comic ever. Like, every single page is the best. Yeah, it's all business.
It moves so well. I mean, again, well, like, I can't. It's the reason why I voted for this one is just because, first of all, I can't even now. I haven't read these in a long time, but I remember they didn't have the same. They had impact on me. Of course, I really liked them. Last time I read them, way back. Going back now, and I guess it's because of the person I am now is different from before. I realize sometimes, like some of the stuff just shortened up and down through here. I'm seeing a Superman comic, pretty much,
right?
By Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
They're not talking about the superpower stuff, those sorts of self toys at the time, whatever. But this is a Superman story, the early days of the Fourth World Saga, and Superman's a participant in a big Jack Kirby epic. I mean, yeah, we know I see the other heroes part of it too, but I don't care. I don't need him. I got the big number one guy right there with him, Superman, whom at that time there was some okay things going on with him. There were starting to change some things a little bit. But 1971 was a big revamp for Superman. I don't know if you knew that. It was a huge revamp Superman year. Like they were trying to. That was when they put him on TV, which was kind of not necessarily a great idea.
Right.
That was when they did Kryptonite Nevermore storyline.
Right.
Okay.
And Superman saga. They were trying to maybe streamline his, maybe not so powerful. That didn't really work out. But at the time, he was still in the shambles because he was in other books. To see him, and by the way, I really did like a lot of the Denny O'Neil, Murphy, and Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson saying Superman saga. For the most part, there hadn't been really many great Superman sagas or storylines. For him to be a part of this one, and him to see the King of Comics get his hands on him, and yes, he's using a lot of other characters, but to see him participate in something like this, going back now, that has more effect on me now than it did back then. I'm like, good God, Superman's in this. I hate what they do with the faces, but Superman's in a Jack Kirby saga. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And funny. I just watched 12 Monkeys. I got the 4K and I've watched it a few times on 4K. And I showed it to Steve the other day. In that movie, they're watching Vertigo, the movie Vertigo. So in 12 Monkeys, they're watching Vertigo, and Bruce Willis is like, and this applies to this, the movie doesn't change, right? Like this comic book didn't change. It came out and it's been the same comic book when it came out till now, but you've changed, right? And it's like, so when you watch it again, or in that case, it was Vertigo, the movie, but in this case, when you read it again, you're like, wow, this is like something new, right? Like, it's like, wow, I'm just realizing how special this is or whatever.
It's totally new. This is totally new to me.
Like,
not because I didn't love it before or anything, and I do have a garbage memory usually, but it's something about it that maybe it just didn't hit me before quite the same way. Look at that right there, Superman and crazy Kirby collages. I'm like, that's outrageous.
This is crazy, yeah. In reading these this week, I've kind of decided that I think once we're finished Fourth World, I think I'm gonna keep Fridays as a Jack Kirby thing. So maybe we try Demon or Machine Man or some of the Commandy. What were Champions? I got Champions as well. Like, I thought maybe we do it for a bit. I don't think there's anyone out there that I've seen on YouTube that's consistently looking at something. Like, everyone's doing, let's do, like the Galactus thing or what, whatever.
Anything that's tied to a movie too. It's like,
movies. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
But it's like Fourth World is a masterpiece, like, basically. And no one really, people say that, but no one really looks at it on
right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I was thinking.
This is a worthy thing, and that is a worthy idea, because you could, and it's great to remember that it's easy to do the Fantastic Four stuff or some of his other great stuff as classics. This, of course, is a big one, but there are a lot of other ones that people don't know much about. It's kind of good to get to those too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's easy. Everyone's like, Galactus. We got to see Silver Surfer's appearance. It's like, and I think Sean and I were guilty of that too. Like, we picked special appearances. It's like Black Panther #1, Jack Kirby's Black Panther #1. Okay,
we're chasing views. Let's be honest.
We're chasing views.
We're still paying homage, but we're
I got you.
But when Black Panther was coming out, we did Jack Kirby's Black Panther. Cool. By the way, if they had adapted, man, I did the worst possible thing you could ever imagine. I did it twice. First was Black Panther Part 1, and second was Eternals. But when Black Panther came out, I started reading the Jack Kirby Black Panther, and I was like, this is the goddamn greatest thing ever made. I was like, literally, Black Panther's my favorite comic book. And I went to go see the movie. I was like, oh man, this movie's not very good. And I'm like, what happened? I was so pumped, and I was like, shit. And then I started to think, I was like, why didn't they adapt this? Black Panther #1, Jack Kirby, is the greatest friggin' #1 ever. It's like, he shows up, there's mega action. It's like he's in costume the whole time. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I started reading that series, and then I'm like, this movie's not very good. Everyone's like, it's a great movie. I'm like, I don't think it is that good. I'm like, I kind of wanted this comic to be. And then I did that, and then Sean told me not to do it, and I did it anyways just because I had to. It's like we were gonna go see Eternals. Like, oh, I gotta read Eternals because I never read it before. I never read.
I read
before.
it and I was like, it's not gonna be anything like this, and you're gonna be so interested in what happens.
Right. So I started reading. I didn't finish it though because I didn't have enough time. I read like maybe 4 issues. I thought, oh shit, man, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And I watched it and I was like, wow, this is the worst movie ever made.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't do this anymore. I shouldn't be reading the thing beforehand because that really ruins it. Oh, hey, FKHC 2005. How's it going, dude? That was awesome. That was an awesome scene. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, like, the thing about Eternals is that, like, if you get into it, Thena is awesome, and she takes pity on those 2 characters. The one that's like feral but like beautiful, and I can't remember their names. And the other guy that's like a big monster guy, but he's very eloquent. And those guys aren't even in the movie, right. And they're kind of the heart point of Eternals. It's like anyone that read that, it's this is the whole point of the whole thing. It's that they take them in, and all that stuff. It's not there, and all the character interplay wasn't in the movie. And what's funny is that all that is very interesting in the comic. And if you wanted to make something interesting, then port that over into the movie. And he didn't do that.
I think
anyway.
I mean, we've bashed that movie. You can never bash it enough, I suppose. But,
yeah, you're right.
I think Icarus. Okay, I'm like, let me forget the comics and try to watch. I watched it a second time. I did watch it a second time. My wife wanted to turn it off. I was like, well, let's it was my second time. I was like, let's just finish it.
Turn it off. Yeah.
But she pulls this all the time. She's like, let's watch this movie. I said, it sucks. You're not going to like it. And she's like, well, let's try it. And then she's like half an hour. She's like, yeah, this sucks. I said, well, too bad. Now you're going to finish it because, that's it.
It sucked. It's like,
listen, when I was a kid, when I was a kid and I said, can I get some more potatoes? I better finish those friggin' potatoes. It's like, there was no giving them back.
Finish them. You
asked for it. Now you finish it.
You sit at this table until you're done. I don't care if it's 10.
I was like, right.
Exactly.
Who am I kidding? I never not finish my seconds.
It's true. I've seen you at Steve's there.
Holy crap, man. That's great.
No, it's fine. It's a compliment, man.
No. And listen, well, if you put a bag of chips in front of me, it's being completed.
Oh yeah, no.
If you get a big bag of chips and you don't finish it, you're a loser. That's the bottom line.
It's like, and we're gonna finish this, and we're all quiet. He's like,
I'll finish it. I ask you first. I said, is anyone taking more?
Yeah.
Because listen, you gotta finish. I can't. I hate. I'll tell you this too. I can't send people to take more than like 4 or 5 bites per thing. That pisses me off. It's like a slice of pizza is like what, 4 or 5 bites maximum, and then you get another one. Like you don't just like nip away at it. There's a friend of ours who does that. It drives me insane. When I eat McDonald's fries, I take like 4 at a time and shove them all in. I can't send 1 bite at a time. Makes me. I can't take it. Sorry, that's our food hypes. Anyways, let's get on.
Finished Eternals.
I finished Eternals and it sucks.
Didn't we all review that? Didn't you all review it with me on the show or the comic?
Not the comic, no, the movie.
Oh, not the movie. Yeah.
Okay.
But so my point was going to be that I did
review the whole comic one night.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I think I may have seen that. Oh, you know what? No, I don't think I did see that.
Mark D and Nick joined me. I forgot. I knew you guys joined us, but
we were there for some of that. I remember commenting on it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And then the movie
on the stream.
We all beat the crap out of the movie. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I can take anything, but if you take the hero, it's just like the Legion cartoon. I can take anything. I'll just be like, okay, this is a different reality or something. But if you mess with the main hero, that's like a deal breaker. Like they mess with Mon-El, they made him the villain. I'm like, this is absolute trash. I don't care if the rest of it is okay. It's a deal breaker moment. Same with Eternals. I could take a boring ass movie, no problem.
Right.
But they made Icarus bad, and I thought this is stupid. I'm like, F this movie. I'm done. Like I can't even give it a pass. And we talked about off screen. We were talking about I give stuff a pass all the time. If it was okay. Christopher Reeve. I like Superman 4. Christopher Reeve is cool to me. It's a pass. I like watching Christopher Reeve be Superman. It's a pass. But if you ruin the hero, if the hero is garbage, it's over. I don't care if the rest of the movie is perfect. It's over. I'm like a big time, the main guy. If the main guy is good, there's a good chance I'm giving it a pass. And I'm very lenient, right? I gave a Black Panther 1 a pass because I still like him, but not Black Panther 2. That's garbage.
It's like Wonder Woman 84.
Wonder Woman 84, I gave it I like Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman is cool to me. Everyone hates that movie. That's okay. But I love Wonder Woman.
But yeah, she's intact, basically.
She's intact. She's awesome. She
more or less. There's some questionable.
There's some questionable things, but she's cool. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a pass. But if you ruin the hero, it's over. I don't care if the rest of the movie's good. Like, anyways. So that's that. Mr. Miracle.
Someone drew on the cover there. Back.
I know. What are we gonna do? As a kid. I'm 3 years old and now I'm 16. I don't know.
No, isn't that like someone does that at the store or something like that?
That's what my copy looks like that I've been reading online. I read online.
Yeah. All right. So what's the credits on this one?
Mr. Miracle volume 2, volume 1, number 2, June 1971. Of course, the cover art is by Jack Kirby with inking of Vince Colletta. Kirby, of course, the king of comics, again on the writing, the penciling, and Colletta on the inking of the interior. It means what a streak he's got going there. Kirby is, of course, editor of his own titles. And do you think this is early? Here in 1979. How many have we done now?
This is episodes. This is episode 4, so we've done 3 per episode.
Okay, so this, in other words, it'll be 12 comics, right?
Yep.
After we get through with these.
Yes.
Here you are, mid-year now. He started at the beginning of 1971, if I recall correctly. And I'm not 100% sure about that.
I'll take your guess over my facts.
Ballpark. And he's already done 12 freaking comics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That may not sound much to your average bear, but if you know anything about comics, the industry, especially back then now, I know you people today who work in comics don't understand this. If you can get 4 titles out a month, now if you get 1 out every 3 months, you're fast, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. This guy was not only doing 4 comics a month. I had 4 titles, 23 pages.
I can't even do 4 streams in a week. It
was doing the creating, the writing, everything from his head. Everything. The only thing, he had an inker that helped. Good God. Yeah. I mean, Vinny was fast. That's another reason why Vinny got this job. He was fast. The only one could keep up with Kirby.
Right.
I don't even know if I can explain that to any of these young kids who write and draw comics right now. I don't think you could probably explain it adequately enough for them. How this guy was getting 3 to 4 titles out a month. It's insanity.
It is insane.
By the way, back then it was ridiculous.
Yeah, 14-hour days, no?
And right. And everyone would tell you that because Jack could do, they were impressed that if you could do like a page a day, you were considered fast.
Right.
So if you can finish a whole comic within a week, you were a monster. Like you were a crazy person. You shouldn't be able to do that. Jack's put out 4 of them a month.
So Vince Colletta would get like 4 or 5 pages a day to ink, basically.
Right. He would get a lot of pages to ink. Now he was fast.
Yeah. Which
was good. But they had a great, obviously, an arrangement says, look, you're not going to be erasing shit all the time like you did at Bar.
And this is tough. Okay, look at this first page, the way that he did the panels with this machinery thing. But look at going over all of this is really tiresome. Now, the one we looked at before was one of those updated rescans where they clear.
Yeah, and this is the original comic.
This is original comic scan. So this is very interesting because we're seeing the original, like what it originally looked like. This is pretty crazy. Look at all of these little squares.
Look at the shadows.
Yeah.
Look at the shadows. And Vinci was not. See, people didn't say because Vinci wasn't artistically talented. Is he just erased shit while they hated him so much. You could see it. You can tell a Vince Colletta face from a Joe Sinnott face or a Bill Everett, how they're inked. You can really tell. even on Kirby. But Kirby was the least one that was like that. But
I was gonna say one more thing. Kirby's got to be in his early 50s at this point, or mid 50s.
He is. Basically, he's about is 71.
70, this is 71.
So he was about in his in his 50s.
Wow.
He was right around 50. Well, he was, in 1967 he would have been 50, I guess, right?
So he was born in 1917.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm bad at math, but
and just again this energy. It's like, you know, because I'm not. We're not like J-Man and I aren't in our 50s yet, but like I was tired like 15 years ago, so I don't know. You know, it's craziness. Yeah.
I'm pushing the big 6-0, and I don't have any energy, but of course a lot of other reasons too. But this is just insane energy coming from through that magical arm and that amazing brain. And I would never tell some of these young people, look, you don't have to be that. What we're showing you is what this guy could do. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to like his art. You don't have to think it looks good. This guy was creating and drawing things and putting it out there. And you got to learn from him. So we'll go to the comics. Sorry, I just need to track from it.
No, well, I don't. If someone says they don't like, well, this is like a whole thing with me. I don't like dissing. You don't diss Superman. You don't diss Jack Kirby. You know, if you're in this field. If my mom doesn't care about Jack Kirby, well, that's fine. She doesn't read comics or care about any of this. But if you're in this space in any way, Superman is your king. Jack Kirby's your king. Like you don't make fun. You could say, well, it's not my taste, perhaps, or whatever.
That's
but
fine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You don't talk shit about it. It's a red flag it's a red flag to me to say that you don't know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. All through the 80s and 70s, I've been fighting that.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. I'm looking at you.
Oh, F that guy.
Ever live that down.
No, he's never living that down.
Never live that down. I don't care how long ago it was. You were running around saying that you're a comic fan and you say that in Wizard magazine and everyone else beats your ass. Like,
right.
And Wizard was that slapped him down.
And Wizard magazine sucks, but it doesn't matter. You still said that. Kevin Smith has died.
Yeah, I sent that clip to you. I was like, I saw this. And like,
I saved that picture. I saved that clip just in case I need that someday. I've got that saved in case I need to throw that out there.
Just in case you're like, you know what, Kevin Smith isn't so bad. And then you bring that up. I was like, I know F this guy.
Oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo like Memento so I can remind myself how trash Kevin Smith is every time I think you.
Even Quesada said, "I will make you understand."
Yes, that's what he said.
I'll make you understand.
I'll make you understand.
Oh, you did it better. Yeah. Okay, so look how crazy this is. I love the panel. He used the machinery to like create the panels. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and he's got this foreshadowing of like, who's this talking? You know.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like this issue. I know everyone's voting for Jimmy Olsen. And look, Superman's my favorite character of anything, not just comic books. He's my favorite character in fiction. But asterisk, this is a good comic.
It's great. It's great.
Okay, so I didn't know what was going on. I don't know shit about any of this. I know Granny, that's it. I don't know this Overlord thing. I'm like,
wait till Big Barda comes along.
Oh shit, yeah, she looks pretty cool. Yeah. There was a nice cover of hers. She was on the Birds of Prey. There's a variant cover for Birds of Prey #1 with Big Barda. I guess I don't know if she's part of Birds of Prey or something. Who cares if the comic's good? But the cover was awesome. I don't know if it was. It may have been, I don't know if it was Alex Ross or one of these art. Maybe it was Art Germ. You know, one of these like cover art guys where they do these really nice painted kind of things. And it's like Big Barda. I was like, shit, that looks good. I might just get it for that. And then I didn't. But anyway. Okay. So I love this that he's created this android version of himself to test out some of the more dangerous stunts. What I like about this is that firstly, it makes sense for him to do that, but it plays a part in the story and not in a stupid way. Right. Because if it was, I don't want to, if it was another comic, it'd be like, he just dodges it or something stupid. No, Overlord, or this thing called Overlord, we don't know what it is at this point. Yeah. It's been targeting Mr. Miracle, and it now has a target, which is this thing. And you can see it's one of these mimic these. It's called a follower, and it basically whatever Scott does, it mimics him. So he's going to basically, like test trying to escape stuff, and whatever he does, this thing does. And then that helps him figure out
in Total Recall, in FX,
big time FX, FX2.
Yeah,
FX2.
Sorry, yeah.
FX2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The telemetry suit.
Yeah. It was copied. I thought of that immediately. I was like, yeah, high tech. Yeah, it's a Trek uniform, Star Trek uniform. Who was that?
Yeah, it's got the one color and the other color, and
yeah. Overlord, yes. Yeah, you're right. It's Dictor Van. I didn't realize it was Dictor for a long time. I think when he says it fast. I thought it was Victor Van Du, and then I read it once. I was like, oh, I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. All right. Okay. So, anyways, he's testing this whole thing out, and it's like, okay, so I'm gonna put some look. I love Oberyn. He's like, okay. These are quadruple X explosives, so they're not effing around here. Look at this epic! Holy crap!
Okay.
Oh my god!
I've forgotten where that came from when I was rereading this. You see it all over. I mean, you can't go anywhere on the net without seeing crazy Kirby stuff. In fact, they put pages like on Twit and whatever all the time, or Reddit and all those other places. And when I saw this, I was rereading it today. I'm like, oh, that's where that's from. Shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I mean, I need to get a bust of this. That'd be awesome. And it's like Obey, which is I thought of They Live, but anyways, Mr. Miracle. And so this thing fires and it just obliterate, like it just nails this guy.
The lips are red, but there's no lips on the on the omnibus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a mouth.
You look at an old scan, right? Yeah. You're looking at a scan of the regular comic book.
That's the real comic there, and then for some reason they got rid of those lips.
Weird.
Huh? I'm gonna look that up. I've got
for the most part, he doesn't have lips, so maybe that's why they corrected it. But I want to see the original as it was. If there was some sort of mistake, then put it in there, and
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. They did. You're right. They did remove the lips.
Holy shit! I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I have the omnibus.
They always mess with those Masterworks and omnibuses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they removed it even on the cover of the next one.
Well, it's like what we said. They last week they had taken away all the editor's notes of where things were in other comics.
I don't like that.
I hate that. Yeah,
I hate that they do that crap. It's annoying. That's part of the fun is seeing that thing.
Yeah.
They did, and that's where we remember they fixed the eyes, or they changed Orion's eye color and all that too.
Yeah.
I like this. It looks like a luchador mask to me, so I like luchadors.
It does.
So I have several ideas for luchador films. If anybody wants ideas, I have several.
Yeah,
like Sean, we can write an amazing luchador movie.
Anything with them because
I've got a massively awesome idea. It's so awesome. I just make movies in my head. So I was turning this into a TV series, and I'll tell you, my version of this as a TV series is the best because it's exactly what you see on screen or on the comic. Exactly, like not changing the costumes, nothing. Exactly these costumes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Oberyn is like really awesome. He comes in and starts putting the fire out. Scott's like, holy shit, what the hell? Like, that was crazy. And he thought, so they're not really sure what's going on yet. And he fixes up his mother box thingy. And he's like, and then ping, ping, ping. This means that it's working. It's El Santo. We have Sean and I are Santo fans.
Yeah.
Santo. I remember those.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. They're all good. So he's like, well, there wasn't enough explosives to really cause all that, that damage. So something else is up. And now we flash, whatever. We go to Granny Goodness here. She is awesome.
Granny.
She reveals herself. Whoosh.
I can't hear her now without thinking of Ed Asner's voice of her on the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
Can you do the voice?
Oh, you're being so mean to your old granny, Scott.
Who would play Granny now? They should get like Meryl Streep or something. Like get like some super.
Probably so.
I want to say though, like I read more modern comics where they treat her as a joke. She's still a villain, but they make fun of it, sort of like it's an ironic distancing. And watching this first appearance is refreshing because she's genuinely scary. I mean, she's intimidating, and everyone fawns over her for a reason because they fear her. I love it. It's
no,
great.
she is awesome, and that's what I'm saying. All of this is new surprise to me. Yeah. I know Granny Goodness, but I thought she was a joke.
Yeah, they've taken these characters away from their original intention, and when you read like Fourth World, like, oh crap, Darkseid is awesome, Mr. Miracle is awesome, Granny Goodness is scary. Oh
look at this. Okay, hold on. Look. This is a nightmare. She kicks the shit out of all these guys. Look at this nightmare. Look at this nightmare, man. Oh my god.
Scroll up to that other panel though. Look at the guy in the top left.
He's destroyed. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah. It's like, what the hell? Okay, so again, I'm not saying this is the best of the week. I'm just saying that for me personally, I was like, I had zero surprises in Jimmy Olsen. I knew it was going to be 10 out of 10, and it was 10 out of 10, and it's awesome. I'm like one surprise after another. Like this Overlord thing, and just like Clobby was saying, I had seen this before because I searched for images and I've seen that image. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, this Overlord thing's the goddamn best. I was like, oh, there's Granny. She's kind of jokey, but I was like, whoa, why is she like destroying people? I thought she was like a joke character, and I didn't know about that. And then Mr. Miracle is awesome in this too. I was like, this is like so surprising. Like, look at she's like a nightmare. Oh.
Let's see if I can try some of that answer here. Granny Goodness wants to kill Scott free. It was the first to run away from my. I can't read because it's really. Well, I can't read. But anyway, I can't do that. Ed Asner was great though.
Yeah, she's awesome. And then okay, so we go back to Scott, who's trying. Look at this! Oh my god, like this is crazy. Yeah. I mean, this is. It's like I love how you like. Okay, you're all shackled up. Your arms are behind this thing. Yeah, you're good to go. Like this is this is really crazy. And then, whoosh, and it's just like, and I like how it like they went through and hit back here.
Yeah, it's even more powerful than you thought, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. Okay, so he's like, he goes, it should have been fast. Basically, it should have been faster, right? Like he's like, okay, I got out, but it wasn't fast enough. It's like, okay, yeah, what's going on here? Okay, so basically, the robot or whatever it's called, the follower. Sorry, follower is what it's officially called. He goes, yipe. Preserve me. It's that weird crawly follower thing. It's come to life trying to rise. Oh. Now, it is a comic book, so there has to be some sort of, comic booky things. Meanwhile, it's like, oh, there's the look, sawed off assistant. That's mean. These guys are dicks.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack. That ain't nice.
Yeah, these guys are these Bullet Man guys. All right. So we'll take them both. Granny will be doubly delighted. So they mess up. This is a henchman trope since the dawn of time. So when the first caveman created a play for the other caveman, he had these characters who like got the wrong thing or whatever.
Yeah, true enough.
They found hieroglyphics of guys who are getting the wrong thing for like the pharaohs, and oh shit, we messed up. So it's an old trope. They grab the wrong guy, so they grab Oprah and they grab Mr. Miracle, who they think is the real Mr. Miracle. So Mr. Miracle comes up and he sees that they're Granny's guys. So he decides to wait and do nothing. No, he gets immediately into action and goes after them because he's a Jack Kirby character and he's not a loser. Like he wouldn't think about like, oh, let me sit down and talk for 2 panels while shit's going down. It's like he immediately gets his shit on and let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now there's no mouth. They didn't color it in, and they didn't color this in too. So it just could be a coloring thing.
So he puts on those levitation discs, which it was the inspiration for, of course,
He-Man.
Masters of the Universe, right?
Yeah, I thought of that immediately.
Bobby, you know that, right? Masters of the Universe, the Dolph Lundgren movie, was supposed to be a New Gods movie.
I've heard about that.
That's why they have boom tubes in it. It's like they're basically boom tubes.
It is a boom tube. Skeletor comes through the key. Well, the key opens a boom. The key is the mother box. The boom tube is a thing that opens. Skeletor's Darkseid. You could tell that's
Darkseid with the hood and everything.
The hood and everything.
Yeah,
and they couldn't get the rights together.
They couldn't get the rights. Yeah, it was Gary Goddard. I think he was a big he's a big New Gods fan, and he just basically made it as He-Man.
Yeah.
Well, did you see Mobius's that artist Mobius or whatever? Did you see his his?
Yeah, I got the art of Oh, it's
just awesome. It's so awesome.
He was great.
And so this is like obviously sick. So then he goes right into action, gets his shit out. I love his bag. Now, if I was going to do this, I would have it be like a tickle trunk thing with this exact pattern. I would literally have this exact pattern on it because I think it's great that it looks like bad like 70s or 60s luggage. Like I love that.
It's got personality to it. Yeah,
it's got personality to it. I like that a lot. He gets the discs on. It's like okay. He flies over. Granny's like patting the guys on the head. Okay, you guys did good. You did good. It's like, oh, hail to Darkseid.
For a second. Scroll for a second to that panel there. That random machine. Scroll down. Where Granny's going to the machine.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That random flying machine. It's just a throwaway thing, but it's awesome. Like the wing of it connects to the rest of it. It's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a Chris Foss design or something. Like he always designs these weird things. It's like like Kirby's got like this, just like, okay, here's like a random thing, let's just make it look cool. Oh, the great Darkseid. It's like,
die for him and reward Granny.
Yes, there you go, Granny.
Yeah.
I like her curtains here. She's wearing the curtains. She's got her curtains thing on here, and she picks it up and throws it. It's like, you dumbasses. It's like, it's like it's a follower, not Scot-Free. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter because here's Scot-Free right now. I'm here, Granny, but I can't stay long. That is so good. It's like, so you came after all. And then he just to pick up a friend, which is great. She's like, okay, all right. Yeah, well, I got the X pit. It's like, if you fall in there, you become an X-Man. No. So she's got her computer, her like Overlord is basically this like computer weapon or something.
Yes,
like I don't
pretty much. Yes. Yep. That's her little I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, basically her computer.
And I guarantee you that if they made this now, they would just make it look like a computer instead of a big evil face.
Of course. Oh yeah.
This is what I expected. If you've seen, I know Sean, you saw it at Club. I don't know if you've seen Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary on Alejandro Jodorowsky's vision of what Dune was supposed to be, like as a movie. It's so brilliant, and everybody that he assembled, Mobius, Chris Foss, O'Bannon, what's it called? Mick Jagger was in it. Orson Welles. David Carradine, H.R. Giger, like Pink Floyd, like all of these guys that he gathered together went on to make all these great movies. Like the melting in Raiders of the Lost Ark was storyboarded from his Dune book or from his Dune movie. Alien, Geek, like H.R. Giger, all of that stuff is from Jodorowsky's Dune. Like all these things that went into other movies came from his vision of Dune, which never got made. And when his team split up, they kept whatever they designed and put that in other movies. So it's really crazy. But all of his things were like that. Like it's a big face. Like literally the Harkonnen's base was like a big, huge Harkonnen battle, and it looked like Baron Harkonnen, like large, and his tongue comes out as the landing strip, and then it comes back in, and it was like, it's so weird. And I'm like, this is what I want. And this is like Kirby is doing these crazy things, because it looks like it's from another world or time that I've never seen before.
J-Man,
Mhm.
have you ever heard of Lord of Light?
No,
So just quick story,
go
because
for it.
we'll be here for 10 days if I get into the whole thing. There's a book called Lord of Light. You can actually buy it now. I saw it chapters.
Found it.
It's from the 70s.
Robert Zelazny.
And they're going to make a movie on it. And the guy who was producing it, he got Jack Kirby to do all the concept art for it.
It's unreal.
And the concept art is unreal. It's crazy. And they were going to build, in addition to the movie, they're going to build a theme park with all of
Science Fiction Land.
Science Fiction Land with all of Jack Kirby's designs.
Oh my
Now,
God!
the project was abandoned, and then the FBI got hold of it and then called it Argo, and that was the facade they used to get the hostages out of Iran.
Oh yeah, okay.
So in the movie, they don't use any of the Jack Kirby art. But
a guy does
life,
play Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby's in the movie though.
Oh yeah, is he?
Oh, what? I never saw that movie. I didn't know any of this. What the hell?
You didn't watch Argo?
No, I didn't watch Argo.
Oh,
who's that guy? The guy he was in a few Tarantino movies. Michael, what's that dude's name?
Bean?
Oh no. He's he was the sheriff in Kill Bill, and he was but he's considered to be Jack Kirby in the movie. They say but
do they name him in the movie or?
I don't know if they say it in them. I've not actually watched the movie. I always meant to just watch that part. I'm not a big Ben Affleck guy.
I mean, it hurts for Canadians because we were told a lie for years, but we did help. We helped a lot, but but the thing is, so like basically Jack Kirby's art was part of that project to get them out of Iran. So anyway, it's a whole thing. But you're talking about like Jack Kirby concept art for movies, and that it was going to happen at one point and it didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This
would have been amazing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel underwhelmed by a lot of the current things, and I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm not saying the new Dune is a bad movie or anything like that. But like, I'm underwhelmed when I'm not seeing someone really push it. Like, I want you to really go for it. Like, I want to see this. If you're going to do Eternals with the budget, could have been the most visually spectacular thing ever. Like, even Thor Ragnarok, which is a shitty story.
Yeah.
The visuals of it are very vibrant and the costumes look cool. They have like all these weird, and I'm like watching, it really got me. And you can ask Sean. I was like, wow, this is like a Jack Kirby dreamland. The story is so piss, but like
it stood out in that movie because there's some of it compared to all the Marvel movies, other ones that don't have it. They should have been doing that from the beginning and a lot more.
Yeah. Right. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, wow, can you imagine? That was the only Marvel movie where I was like, okay, I actually feel like I'm in this different world here with all these weird characters. Can you imagine that Eternals budget, $200 million?
Yeah.
The story, you've got the story. Why do you do the story with the characters, with the Jack Kirby inventions and all that?
That series was born out of Jack Kirby's love of like the ancient aliens thing, like the whole
the
gods thing. Like I think there's even a call out box on the cover for the issue 1 where they say it's like Church of the Gods, right? You know, it's like that's where all that came from, and none of that's in there. It's just this sort of plodding, morose. I guess we're telling a story here, but it's just there's no vision or passion to that movie. Anyway.
Well, and I'll take a shitty story like Thor 3, but at least it looks cool. So at least you can be like, well, this looks pretty neat. Like they're trying to do something cool with it.
Fun minutes,
Oh yeah. Like, and Thor's a goof in it, but at least it looks like, I mean, I could have taken anything. Like, just give me something to latch on to. I just need one thing so I could be like, wow, that was exciting. Give me one damn thing to get into. Give me a good soundtrack, for Christ's sakes. All right. So she Overlord opens up the X pit, and then they fall through, and they fall. And so here he doesn't have the mouth. So there he doesn't have this is a clear shot where he's got the red but no mouth or whatever. Yeah. Now they're trapped in this cube thingy, and there's different this was very interesting. There's all these different buttons that you can push, and each one releases a different kind of hazard, basically. And this is just neat anyways, because you're like, okay. And then, I mean, right away you start thinking how many, what are the hazards going to be, right? You're like, well, it's going to be something weird, right? And it's like, oh, there's fire, and there's like, smoke, and this tar comes in, and just like they're all being buried in it. He pulls them out. I love this, holding him up while like he's being like buried in this crap or whatever.
Yeah,
saving him, holding him up. That's really neat. And in her quarters, poor Scott-Free, how he must be suffering. It's too bad he couldn't learn to see things Granny's way. You don't get to see this too often too. She's kind of like, I get the sense that she liked Scott. She's just, he left and she's upset over it. He was
in that orphanage, so yeah.
Yeah. And I like this Sector's character here. Like basically they're Sectors. I mean, I don't know what to say. Sector stole this idea.
He looks like Prince Dargon, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I Granny, I must go inform the Sectors later. Okay.
But I like her creepy, the creepy way she refers to soldier boys.
Yes,
she's like, my soldier boys are so understanding. That's why Granny trained soldier boys.
I'm telling you, you get
on here. Like,
I'm telling you, get Meryl Streep to be Granny. That would be the absolute greatest thing
creepy.
ever.
She's great here. I mean, this is awesome.
She could be like
this kind of Granny goodness.
And a little bit like. I don't want to say sexual, but a little bit like, ooh,
it's questionable.
It's questionable. I love it.
Just enough to be sort of unsettling, right?
Yeah. I think it'd be really, really neat. We need an Oscar winner. We need an Oscar-winning older actress to play this character.
Meryl Streep is the age, I guess.
Can you imagine Meryl Streep as Granny Goodness? And, I mean, I would literally wouldn't know what to do with myself.
It's gonna be Melissa McCarthy.
Oh dear.
Then she just slip and fall every scene.
Yeah.
So.
I don't have anything against her, but she needs to do some different kind of things because she's funny sometimes. But
her husband directs her movies, and they all suck.
I'd lobby for her because I don't want to have any kind of attraction or Granny Goodness.
Yeah.
No, I want it to be weird. That's what I want to feel weird. No, you got. I want to feel weird about it. I'll be like, do I kind of like this Granny? What's going on here?
No.
Okay, so she's got this. I just forgot this jewel. What was this again? What was this jewel? I forgot. So he gets this from the vault. It's like, okay, soldier boys. Ooh, soldier boy. Granny helped me earn my pointed helmet. Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. Very weird.
Yeah.
Very pointy helmet. Granny has earned her rewards too. She worked hard and hard and bold, done on all the right things. Okay. That's why the great dark side gave her this wonderful gift. And it's like this, it reacts to Granny's every wish. So it kind of creates stuff based on what she wants. I guess it's kind of neat. It's a weird thing.
Yes.
Here comes Mr. Miracle. So Mr. Miracle, of course, is the escape artist. So yeah, he got Kathy Bates as Granny. That would be interesting. My guards struck down, attacked. No, scot-free, only a miracle. Oh, I love that. Could have gotten you out of that X-Pit. Okay, I look, I really like stuff like that. A lot. My one-time favorite, Clobby, I think you like this too. I really like where there's a scene in a movie and they say something and then the next scene is the thing. So in The Phantom, when Treat Williams is I was going to call him Ajax, not Ajax. James Remar says, "Go. What are we going to do about the Phantom?" He's like, "Nothing. What do I care about some folk hero on a different continent or whatever?" And then the next shot is the Phantom walking in, like coming out of the car, coming out of the taxi, and he's in New York. Like, yeah, it's like the Phantom's here. That's like my favorite thing in movies. It always gets me pumped. And I love when they say the thing. It's like only a miracle could have gotten you out. It's like, yeah, because he's Mr. Miracle. So I don't care. I know that's cheesy, but
what a strange occurrence, Doctor Strange. As, 7 little superheroes from
7 little superheroes.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. We always quote that. It's like
it's a very strange party. Because this is it. He goes, we're at a party, a very strange party. Doctor Strange. And it's like,
yeah. Doctor Strange turns around. Doctor Strange. Anyway,
a very strange party. Doctor Strange. It's like, all right. I did think it was funny when in Peter, when he says to Peter, my name's Doctor Strange, and he's like, oh, we're using our hero names. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. Made up names. He said made up names.
I made up. Come on, that's funny. That was legitimately a funny part. I don't care about Tom Holland that much. He's okay, but that was actually funny. I laughed on that one. The gift that creates and destroys, Granny. Oh, my heart.
Young savage, look. What you've done to my heart. I will kill you with my bare hands. How did this do this? How did you do this? How? Well, you'd have to go back and listen to what's his face? Asner. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, I've got all those. I haven't watched him in like 100 years. I don't remember the exact. I know him though.
Yeah.
Knowing they get Lizzo. No, I think Lizzo's been canceled because she's harassed her dancers or something.
I don't understand any of that, but yeah.
I don't know.
I couldn't name you one Lizzo song, so
I didn't know who that person was till she appeared in that trash She-Hulk show.
I know them when they no, she's not in She-Hulk. She's in Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
She-Hulk
I didn't even know.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, see, okay. So let me rephrase that.
Different
I don't know
trash.
who Lizzo is. I don't know who Lizzo is. I
Different
thought that
trash.
was Lizzo.
Yeah,
No.
I can see why you make that mistake because when you said that, I go, yeah, that was her. And then Sean corrected you, and I remembered. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
And I'm not
that
trying to be
piece of
funny.
trash.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I apologize to the two people who I don't know who you are. There you go. So one of them harassed their dancers.
Lizzo fans are not watching this stream.
They might be.
Jack Kirby's Fourth World. Oh boy.
Yeah. Fourth.
Well, they would if Lizzo plays Granny. They'll definitely want.
They wouldn't know who Jack Kirby is.
They don't know who Jack Kirby is. No, even the people working at Marvel now don't know who Jack Kirby is.
Yeah, Kirby's like Kirby.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, wasn't that the guy that used to bring Stanley his coffee? It's like, yeah, that's who that.
Kirby, wasn't that the robot in the Fantastic Four cartoon? No, it's Herbie, sir. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you're giving them way too much credit. They wouldn't even know who Stan Lee is at this point.
That is true.
Yeah.
I did have someone at my work call him Stanley. And they're like, oh, Stanley. They're like, did you see that thing on Stanley? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, you don't know. They're stunned. They're like, you don't know Stanley. I'm like, Stanley who? And I'm like, what are you talking? I was like, no, Stanley who? Who is that? It's like, oh, she's like, Stanley from comics. I'm like, no.
Stanley.
I'm like, no, I don't know. She's like, there's a thing on Stanley. I was like, are you talking about Stan Lee? She's like, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. His real name is Stanley, but yeah. Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But it's just funny because she's think of this from her perspective. I'm all tatted up with Marvel and DC characters. She's like, you don't know Stanley. Like to her, she must be like, what is Jason?
Right, no brainer, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is Jason mentally handicapped? Like, what's wrong with this guy?
He's probably talking about that stupid propaganda document.
Yeah, the propaganda machine. Yeah,
I used to think when I was like 14 or something, I thought Stan Lee and Stanley Lieber were like the same guy, but like it was a different name or something.
Yeah, they are.
He's just using another name, but yeah.
Stanley Lieber is his name. That's
I know.
That's his real name, right?
Oh, you thought there were two different. Yeah, I got you. Then Larry Lieber kept Lieber for some reason.
Yeah.
Stan.
Yeah, Larry Lee. Yeah, Larry and Stan Lee. That would have been.
Yeah.
Okay, so Granny is not impressed. So she's like, how did you do this? It's like, fair enough. And then he explains what happened because.
So he destroyed Overlord, basically.
Oh, I was so upset over this. Like, I was like, no.
That was Overlord doll or something.
I was like, no, damn it. And then he opens this up. It's like, okay, and it's like, what the hell? Like, this is so that this is
baby or something, you know?
Yeah, so that's Overlord, I think. Is that what they're implying here?
That's Overlord.
Yeah, this thing is actually the Overlord.
This is Overlord, short of power and life.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for him.
Yeah,
Overlord's a nice guy. He's misunderstood. He's got a lot of gray.
And he's like, and that brings me to my parting words. dry up and blow away, Granny goodness.
Oh man, that was a
Whoa.
burn. He got her. He got her good. He burned her. That was a burn.
You played any for this, Scott?
And then he takes off, and it's like, well, I'm sure that we'll see that we won't see the last of her. So there you go.
Second round, yeah.
So that completes this one. I mean, I thought this was really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good issue.
I mean, this is awesome.
Incredible stuff. Beginning of Granny. Oh, it's scary.
I like her. I like when they do these Captain America scale thingies or Namor pants. You know, these little scales.
Chainmail pants.
Chainmail pants.
Scale mail.
Scale mail. Yeah, I like these. I like that in Captain America. I like it on Namor's green undies.
Yeah.
I want green undies, Namor only. I don't want this other bullshit on them. I don't want to talk about Namor. It's just upsetting.
Oh, you'll never see Namor again. I don't know what they're gonna do with the rest of all this because
I don't know. This is
all of it's unappealing. Like no one cares about these characters that they introduced.
Ruined.
Yeah.
For the MC, they're all freaking ruined.
Well, I despise Namor in that thing. I can't even talk about it. It was so upsetting.
I mean, not
that
more.
was. Yeah.
No,
hey, I never went to go see Black Panther 2 in the theater. How do you like them apples? I did not go.
I saw it alone.
I saw it alone too. You might what? Somebody dropped what you dished on us, and
I ditched it. I ditched it.
Suffered as much as we were.
Well, I
was really
sick. I can't remember what really happened. I was sick or something. No, or one of us was sick, or you were sick. Yeah. You were sick.
I was sick, so I had gotten the vid, but it was weird. It was only a headache, so I didn't know what was wrong. I've never had a headache in my entire life, and then I got this headache. I was like, oh my god, I got a headache. I didn't know what the hell's going on, and I thought, could this be the vid? And I tried. I'm like, oh my god, I am. So I was like, guys, I can't go. So I ended up not going, and then Steve bowed out because he's like, well, if Jay's not going, I'm not going. Steve is only going just because I'm going. Steve just wants to go out. Like he just wants to go out. We could go out and have popcorn, talk about it. You know, it's for him. It's just a hangout, right? Like he doesn't care.
Right.
And I was like, I have to watch it. I have to see what the damage is. I saw it. And I was like, oh my god! Like
that was that and Eternals are probably the two of just if we just want to stick with these crappy franchises. I can't decide which one was the most horrific time I had. I mean, they were both pretty bad. I mean, it's tough to choose. Maybe because of what they did to Namor, not more, whatever. Maybe that's the worst. But holy shit,
it's tough. Namor's one of my favorite characters of all time, and Jack Kirby's the greatest comic book creator. So, what are you more pissed off at? Like,
well, plus I know
I don't know.
I know it's a trope to have the origin places of these. It's like Themyscira's the same way. Asgard, Atlantis or not Atlantis or whatever. I can't remember what they called it in the thing. But the thing, I can't remember what they called it. But like they all look primitive, and that's it's a trope that they could have broken with not Atlantis. They could have made it look, amazingly futuristic and like advanced. And instead, it's like freaking stone houses, and like you can barely see anything anyways because it's realistically under the sea. So it's all hazy and crappy looking. And it's like, what? I can't even think back to this with any fondness of like any visual splendor. It's all garbage looking,
I watched, so I saw, brace yourselves. I have it on 4K because, I buy everything.
What?
So I haven't watched it. I watched when I saw it on the, a bad way to watch it. And I hated it. And then my wife hasn't seen it yet, but she wasn't really keen on part 1. She thought it was like okay. Like
I hated part 1, so there you go.
Yeah, I don't think it's that great. I like T'Challa, but I don't like anything else really in that movie.
Same.
Like he's cool, but then I feel like he's underused a bit in that movie.
I think he had his. I think it's where I'll go deeper. He got his movie screwed out from under him.
He kind of did.
He got turned into a joke of a character after being so good in Civil War, and that's why I really despise that movie.
Well, in Civil War, my wife and I both really liked him a lot. I was like, maybe this guy might be the best character.
Best Black Panther, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this guy's good.
Yeah,
so good.
so I saw the movie in the theater. I liked it. I was like, okay, this is kind of neat, but I was like, it wasn't as good. It could have been better, whatever. But I was like, it's okay. And then I watched it again with my wife, and she did not like it. And I thought, man, when I watched it the second time, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's not bad. It's okay, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It didn't have the potential. And then part two is just a disaster. So I haven't watched part two again. I will watch it again to see it in the best version possible, just to see it, but I don't think visually it was that good either. Like Eternals looks bad. I have that on 4K and it looks bad. I don't know why it looks so garbage. Like it should have, like Thor Love and Thunder looks cool. Like if you just mute it, like on 4K, it looks like, wow, this is pretty, fantastical. But like, why does Eternals look so bad? Like what the hell happens? Like they use different cameras or something. Like it looks like it looks like a B80s movie or something. I was like, why does this look so, the filters are so crap. It's like, they just got to wait. Like, it's like, oh, let's put filters on this. It's like, well, why does everything look so bland?
Yeah.
Garbaggio.
All right. Let's get in.
Number 3.
People 3.
Electric Blue, EC.
Yes.
3, E, that is. Oh, my goodness. Where are we at?
Huh?
So Jack Kirby is the writer, artist.
Oh, you want the credits? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being slow. Sorry. What are we? We're New Gods number 3, right?
Forever People number 3.
I mean, Forever People number 3. Let me go back. What the hell? I thought I'm sorry.
Well, we know it's all Jack Kirby.
Why did I put New Gods? I mean, New Gods. Don't do that. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that. Let me just drop the ball. What? You know what? I just wrote again. I wrote for New Gods again. There we go. All right. Idiot. Goddamn idiot. Okay. Whoop. Number 2 and number 3. All right. I didn't realize we were at number 3 already. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Forever People number 3. Volume 1, number 3, I should say. July 1971. Artists, of course, Jack Kirby and Mike Royer on the cover. That's their cover artist. Longtime inker Mike Royer, who will soon be the longtime inker of most of Kirby's stuff in the 70s. Writer, of course, the King of Comics. Penciler, the King of Comics. Inker, Mr. Vinny, the Pimp Vicoletta. Letterer, John Costanda. Editor, Jack Kirby. There you go.
All right.
Letter
We'll
roll.
start off with a quote from someone, which we're not going to acknowledge because we're gonna dolphin.
And Jack was no fan, but he fought a war against him. But back then you could just, you could put it in there and no one gave you any crap about it. I guess they got by the comics code.
Yep. So there you go.
Well, they knew it was an example of evil. It's not an example to
right.
Right. So we've got Godfrey, Glorious Godfrey. We've got the Justifiers. There's a lot of anti-life equation talk in this. What else? Any other? There's a super shocker with when Infinity Man shows up. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I'm like, oh, bam, that was crazy. So
it's cool to see. Well, for those who don't know, the Glorious Godfrey is a pretty famous character who was. Look, Jack was not a big fan of certainly organized religion. Right. And he didn't like the preachers. He didn't like the Swaggarts and the Billy Graham, and not the Billy Graham, the comic artist either, but which there was one. By the way, he just wasn't his thing. But he didn't hate people that were. I don't think he had a lot of hate necessarily for all religious people, but he didn't trust it much. He wasn't not a fan.
Yeah, there's a lot more parody in these DC in his DC run here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like there's more. He lampoons guys like Funky Flashman is obviously standing right. So yeah, in Marvel, I don't know if he did a lot of that. Like, do you know or
not a lot? I mean, he did it, but not. quiet. He waited till he got over when when DC was letting him do his own thing, at least for a while. And you have characters like Funky Flashman and House Roy.
Yeah.
Roy Thomas was not happy with that.
There's a I saw the preview for I Am Stan, and I don't think it's come out yet, but there's a panel where Stan Lee is looking at Funky Flashman. It's like Funky Flashman, and then the next panel is like even closer on his face, like, is that me? Like, I can't wait to read that. I don't know what's gonna be. So yeah. Anyway.
Yep. Lee knew it.
Yeah.
Well, here's Glorious Godfrey in all of his glory with this like epic. I don't remember these awesome podiums. Like, and it's like, so everyone here is like listening in and kind of in a trance.
Yeah.
This is like, what if I was redoing this comic today, I would put Zack Snyder's face here, and then everybody, and everyone would be wearing "Restore the Snyderverse" pins on their chests.
There's a lot of Prisoner in this issue as well. The Prisoner. We know Jack tried to do a Prisoner comic at some point years later.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely, but he did there's a couple like an FF issue and something else. There was sort of a lot of people caught where there was this like him doing a homage of the Prisoner. Well, he did. I mean, he was in. Look, Jack. Like anyone else, Jack was not above being influenced by things, and he was. Yeah, I mean, there's some Prisoner stuff in this one.
Yeah, we're gonna rewatch Prisoner on our second. My wife has only seen the BBC Avengers once through, so I've seen it a few times through, and I've got.
Love it.
That's my Emma and Steed on my arm.
Love it.
So we're gonna go through those again, and then we'll probably do Prisoner after that. We're just finishing up Starsky and Hutch, and then we'll do
cool.
Because I like to go through like the shows I've got. I've gone through all the Star Trek so many times, so we're just trying something different now.
Greatness, absolutely.
Okay, you got to do Prisoner, yeah. You've seen it a bunch of times, right?
I'm going to review it. Oh, look, I finally got to see the show in 1985. There's not a year that's gone by that I haven't watched all of them. A couple of years, more than once or twice. So whatever that math is pretty scary. But it's also sometimes, I'll just pop an episode at random, and I can do that. Don't tell Raquel.
Yeah, I can do that too. I'll just watch.
But there are people who can't. Well, not in Prisoner, they don't think they should, but I can. Yeah. I'll pop a random one in there. But of course, since it is so short, there are times I go, it's about time. It's been like, almost 8 months since I've watched them all. Let me do it. A little obsessed. That and Blake 7.
Yeah, yes, I know Blake 7. We've seen that twice through. So
nice.
And Prisoner, I've only seen once through, so I got to do that for sure. Starsky and Hutch, I've seen a few times through. Star Trek, like I have no idea. Like we've seen at least each one at least 3 or 4 times for sure. I think Deep Space Nine I've seen like 5 times or something. So anyway, all right, let's get on with it. Godfrey's here chatting everybody up. Darkseid's the best. And if you see this guy, I'd be like, yeah, he looks pretty cool to me. I don't know.
Hey, Darkseid.
I'll make you into a Justifier and you could be awesome. And people are like, shit, I want to wear this helmet and be awesome. And it's like, yep. Now,
where are these guys?
Yeah, so this Justifier comes in and attacks the Forever People, attacks Donnie, who's a little crippled kid. And they're looking for, now here's something that I'm not sure. The reason why I didn't, this one, the other two were in the top contenders, like, okay, it's one of these two for my favorite this week. What is going on with the anti-life? Are they saying that there's someone, is it one person or many people that in their mind, they've got the key to unlock the anti-life equation and Darkseid's looking for that? Is that what they're saying?
I do believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the people that Orion saved.
Right.
Potentially, I think all of them have the anti-life equation.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's more than one.
Or maybe one of them.
I thought it was just one. I thought Darkseid
it's probably just one.
Doesn't Darkseid say that at some point?
Yeah. So he's narrowed it down to those whatever. I don't know how many it was. Like 7
I don't know who it is.
Right. But they don't know, because I literally don't know who it is either. So I don't know if you guys already know because you just know. I don't know.
No, I don't.
Oh, awesome! So this one we can find out together.
By the way, I don't know if we're going to find out in the Kirby run until later.
What doesn't the
find out?
Okay.
Hunger Dogs, but
Hunger Dogs.
That was a long time later when the Hunger Dogs came out. And that's been so long since I read that.
And that's in my omnibus. So
it's in the thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're definitely covering that.
Only Kirby shakes and stuff is in there because there was a title after he left. They called Return of the New Gods, so they all had weird costumes and crap. But no, like Jerry Conway and Don Newton. I like the Don Newton art, but
was there not a volume 2 of New Gods where Kirby was involved?
No, well, sort of. After years, right before he did Hunger Dogs, they came out with just a New Gods. I remember I bought this. It was it was comic pamphlet format, but it was a very nice slit paper, like a thick paper.
Mm-hmm.
And there were
this image comes from issue 1 of that.
Right, that's exactly.
I've seen that. Yeah,
that's the cover. They're reprints. But he added some stuff to the end of it.
That's what it was, and then there's new issues at the end. Yes, and they're in the reading order.
Right. Yeah. Then there's Hunger Dogs.
Right. Now you refresh my memory. Sorry.
No. It's probably all in your omnibus.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is in it. Okay. So the Justifier comes in and just starts kicking the shit out of everybody. And then we've got this awesome like Vampirella and Frankenstein team up. That's cool.
Yay. Aurora. I love this.
Aurora had the rights to Frankenstein, Jack Pierce stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Really they got Vampirella in a kid's comic, but that's great.
Yep.
Well, I mean, she was in the House of Secrets revamp in the mid '80s.
I'm all for it.
It was a Vampire. No, sorry, I'm getting Vampirella confused with Elvira. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they got Vampirella in a kids comic. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, because she wasn't DC, she was Warren magazine.
Warren,
so,
yeah.
Well, how she's in there, I don't know. I got to go. Loved going to the.
It's an advertisement, right? So it's like when the GoBots are advertising in Transformers comics. It's like it just happens.
Oh yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
Those days going to the drugstore when as a kid, your mom's going, on one of the other aisles. You can go sneak over and look at a Vampirella mag. She would never let you buy.
My convenience store let me buy anything. I was buying Heavy Metal magazine. Like when I was a little kid, and we're like, oh my God. And then we're looking at it and we're like, what? I still have my childhood ones. We're like, oh my God. There's like a lot of like, nudity and stuff. Yeah. We're like, wow. Anyway, so the Forever people are running. They're all running to buy the latest issue of Heavy Metal. No, they're trying to escape the Justifier. And he comes in.
And these are jerks too. They say, what's funny about this?
Yeah.
They say jerk ass a-hole things.
Yeah. So they explode. Whoa. It's like, oh my God, what the heck was that? That was crazy.
They're all having like a philosophical conversation the whole time. What a dickhead Glorious Godfrey is.
Yeah, Glorious Godfrey is an ass. And they're like, Donnie, this is like, like too effed up here. It's like we have to get down to business here. We can't mess around here. We gotta get out of here.
It's kind of on the nose, but
yeah, which is fine. I mean, whatever.
As far as the religious stuff, but it's funny, so I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. It's like we gotta go. Boom. And then meanwhile, here comes a shit ton of these guys. Like, look at this little ship thing. Like, it's a troop carrier. Like, it's like a Star Wars troop carrier.
I'd buy this.
Where are they right now?
They're landing in I don't know I can't remember what city it was. Wherever they were last. Was it Metropolis or no?
Maybe Metropolis. Which is weird. It's like why are they getting away with acting like this?
Yeah, Superman is trapped. So Superman is trapped in that energy thing.
Call the Justice League.
Call the Justice League. Call the army.
Kick some ass. Where are the cops? Where's the Metropolis cops or any of these suckers? Man, let these dudes just run around.
The cops are
taking people. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah. So they show up and literally they actually say kids don't matter. Yeah, look at this. Don't bother to discriminate. The women and children are as hated as the men. What? That's crazy. Wow. And they're just kicking the crap out of everybody, grabbing this woman here, grabbing this poor guy here. He's just going to pay his taxes like a good citizen, and all this is like this guy was going to. this guy was going to vote. He was like, I'm just trying to vote, you know, like these people are all reading books. It's all they're reading chemistry and calculus books, trying to better themselves.
You stop reading that filth. You pollute your minds, whatever. What the hell?
Put down those reading books. Get out of this library. And it's like torches the library.
Like this guy's like, but I haven't finished Moby Dick yet. It's like, I'm reading like theoretical physics. It's like, you guys stop reading this crap.
You read the book with profanity on the cover and word dick. What the hell's wrong with you, boy?
And this guy's finally like, call the police.
Yeah, this guy's like, wait a minute, how many panels has this been going on for? Where are the cops? It's like,
yeah, it's like there are numbers called 911. Like, what the hell?
Cops got better things to do than get killed.
I love how he's getting his hair done. I mean, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm getting my hair done. We've got look. He looks like who does this look like? Man,
Morton Downey Jr. when he was younger.
I was thinking
like before that.
I was thinking Charlton Heston for a second, but then I'm not sure now.
I don't know. Maybe Billy Graham. I mean, I thought he kind of in
a younger Billy Graham. Yeah,
he's sort of based on the Billy Graham. I'm not sure if there could have been somebody. Jack, Jack, if he wanted to go after you, he was going to go after you.
Yeah, we grew up with an older Billy Graham, so
yeah. I remember when they had a big sign outside our across from our school. I went to a public school, not to a Catholic school or anything, but they were like, "Oh, Billy Graham is coming," and I thought it was the wrestler. And I was like, Billy Graham. I'm like, what the hell? And then I think I was like, yeah, Superstar Billy Graham. I was like, oh my God, it's Superstar Billy Graham, and it's a wrestler. I thought it was a wrestler. No, it wasn't. It was Billy Graham, but I thought it was the wrestler. And then my thing was my buddy was like, no, if that's not a wrestler, I was like, oh, well, then I don't care.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that did this as a kid, but like I would tune into Benny Hill and be disappointed that it was Benny Hinn. Like, oh shit,
I got nailed on that too. Yeah. I did.
What is this? This isn't Benny Hill.
Yeah. Oh, I love Benny Hill. We used to watch that all the time. Yeah. And Bizarre, and it was John Biner and Benny Hill, and they would do them back to back. And I'd watch, and then Super Dave was on
Super
Bizarre.
Dave was originated from Bizarre. Bizarre was filmed just like 10 minutes from my house now. It was at Channel 9 Studios in Scarborough. But it was on HBO. That's why they were making that show. But here in Toronto, they just played it in prime time.
Yeah, just watch it. Yeah. I'd watch that and Benny Hill, like at the I used to stay up till 2 a.m. watching crap. I'd watch American Gladiators, Roller Games, Freddy's Nightmares, Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Dark Side. Tales from the Dark Side.
Back before they flooded the airwaves with infomercials. But
I'd watch infomercials,
old stuff, right?
Yeah, but I even watch. I memorized many infomercials.
Oh, we know the types of infomercials that you probably watch.
No, not those. But me and my one friend who shall not be named anymore, but that me and him, we memorized them to the point where I'd be like, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the audience or the host? I'll be like, I'll do the host this week, and I would do
Jack LaLanne stuff, or
Jack LaLanne is awesome with the pants. The pants are good. But also Ron Popeil and the
yes, Ron Popeil is the guy
Ronco?
that we watch all the time. Yes, but that's a local thing. That's not, people don't know who that is. So,
well, there you go. And I also know it's private, confidential, one-on-one in the street. Yeah,
talk about whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want.
Call the
number on the screen.
Call the number on the screen. If you're at home right now, call the number on the screen. It's it's private, confidential, one-on-one in the street.
Wasted youth. Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways, yes. Could have been learning to play the piano, but so he's like, so here's this justifier who's like, sir, I'm doing good. It's like, I picked the right man for the job. You were a nobody before anti-life gave you power. It's like, you're right. I was a loser. And it's like, okay, here we go. Whoosh, they land here. They're like, okay, here's where all this stuff is going on. And now is the time to bring in Infinity Man. Todd.
Yeah, buddy. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. Now, this got me jacked up. And man, this is awesome. So it's like he first of all, he swims through the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine what an awesome visual this could be in a live action setting, it would be like swimming through like the ground. That'd be really neat.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, like so cool. And he goes through, and then here's Godfrey, and then he just like literally almost like materializes like out, because to him it's like water, right? So he just comes out of the ground, and they're like, "Holy shit, get him!" And they just start shooting, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. And then it's like, and this demon's organ. So the organ is playing it's all just hypnotizing these people and and brainwashing them and whatever. Now you can just watch CNN for that. I'm just joking. I don't watch the news, so I don't know. I'm just.
I don't have cable, so screw the news. Yeah.
Okay, so then okay, hold on, shit, this is awesome. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
so
hold on. You hyped up, man.
So it's like okay, Infinity Man came over here in TCB, take care of business. Destroyed all this shit. It's like, screw this organ and this bullshit music you're playing. It's like, and you contemptible cur, maybe you whatever. It's like he was gonna fight this guy, and it's like, oh yeah, dun-dun-dun, and the big hand comes out. This is like from Phantasm 1, where the tall man's hand came on
boy.
Like boy. It's like turns around. Oh shit! It's Darkseid. And then it's like, I can't move.
Godfrey of face, but great consummate power, so devastating that it rocks even one such as yourself. Piss your pants now. If you have
Yep. Infinity Man would never piss his pants, but if he was ever to, this would have been the time.
I probe deep and swift your weakness in your complex structure. You are one and many.
I can't move. I'm held by his eyes. And you're like, oh shit, I gotta turn that page. No kid in the world saw this ad. Because they're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? This was bad ad placement.
Yeah, bad. They could have known, but yeah, bad ad placement. No question.
Yeah, like no kid ever stopped to read this shit. Yeah, it's like, I gotta get through this page. And then it's like, oh,
I break this strange fusion of beings. I trust you back. I thrust you back beyond the infinite.
No, I cannot hold my presence here.
I'm Darkseid, biatch.
Yeah. Biatch, and then here comes the Forever people. They're like, what? No, what happened? I do like that they immediately come here and they know that Infinity Man just got beat, but they're still brave. He's like, okay, do your worst, buddy. Like, we can take it. Yeah. And then here comes Desaad and his asswipeness. He's a great.
Like, it would pay me to do anything to you kids, but Desaad doesn't care.
Desaad is really pesky.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that. He's a worm,
Yeah,
he's the worm tongue of the
now. I love his weapon. It's a gun, but it's a ring like a tambourine that he holds, and these things come out of the tambourine and they shoot these rays. It's so weird.
Yeah, you can't. There's no real good shot of it. Like, this is the best we can see.
It looks better in the omnibus because they pop it out more. The ink has sort of like gotten darker over time here. I guess I don't know,
but like, yeah, it's like it's like brass knuckles, but if each knuckle had a like a tube that would shoot something.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to explain it. So he just nails them all right there. So they're all captured. This is the Empire Strikes Back of weeks, because Superman and Jimmy and the Newsboy Legion are all captured. The Forever people are captured. Now Scott Free is the only one who's free.
But he's Scott Free, so yeah.
He is Scott Free. So what happens if there's inflation? Will he be Scott, Scott Dollar or something? I don't know. Yeah, you don't come to us for the jokes. You come to us for the commentary.
He's a pin drop, man.
It's like Groucho says that in one of the movies. He's like, he goes, not all the jokes can be that good or whatever. He goes, you got to expect that.
You can't,
expect that every once in a while. Duck Soup, maybe.
Yeah.
You might be Duck Soup, yeah.
It's like, you can't expect all the jokes to work. So they're captured. And look at that. Whoa, super zoom in.
Beautiful.
Now this is a very interesting conversation. So here's where it starts to talk a little bit more like, I believe in the anti-life great dark side, but it can only be induced in others by the means of inventive selling. It's like, I like you, Glorious Godfrey. You're a shallow, precious child. It's like, that's awesome. It's like, I am the revelation, the Tiger Force. Wow. The core of all things. When you cry out in your dreams, it is dark side that you see. Like, whoa, that's super cool.
Something notable about this, by the way, that should be just a point of interest, or maybe it's disinterest, who knows, but the Glorious Godfrey, the closest you'll ever see him probably ever to get into a movie was in that wretched Wonder Woman 84 Audience Nothing, because basically, even though he's playing Max Lord, he's not playing Max Lord. Basically, they kind of just took the character and based the character in that, played by Mandalorian guy, whatever his face or whatever.
Pedro.
He was basically, it was closer to Glorious Godfrey type character. They've even, Jeff Johns had even said it, I think, in an interview or something like that. But yeah,
they should have just called him that. That would have been better because because that wasn't really Max Lord. Though I don't really care about Max Lord as a character, anyways.
I don't either. But he was more like this guy than he was like Max Lord.
Right. Yeah, interesting. So I did not know that because I hadn't read this. But
you hadn't read this yet, yeah.
No, I hadn't read this yet, so I didn't know any of that. But I knew it wasn't Max Lord.
I was going to say,
sorry, Sean. What were you going to say, Sean?
This was cover dated July, or was it released in July 71?
I think cover date July.
Probably cover dated.
Why is that?
Because I was looking up when Thanos debuted, and that's October 72.
It's cover dated July.
Okay. Well, it's probably still around 71.
Yeah, Thanos is way after.
Yeah, I always thought Thanos was like 2 months after Darkseid, but yeah, it's a year or two after the first appearance of Darkseid.
If you want two characters of similarity that are ridiculously close and not the first one, the one who's first is not what everyone thinks. There's a big one, and that's Man-Thing and Swamp Thing.
Yeah, and Man-Thing is first, right?
Man-Thing is first by a month or two or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe
I like Swamp Thing more just because Alan Moore's run.
Well, yeah, that's way better.
Man-Thing looks cool. Like he looked good in that. Hey, there was that one Marvel show that wasn't trash. What was that? That werewolf. That was kind of fun.
There's one episode and it was good.
Yeah. That wasn't too bad.
I guess they're not doing another one for Halloween.
So about that Halloween thing, yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was kind of neat, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course they didn't make any more.
Naturally, we can't be having any of that, can we?
Everyone's like, "Hey, I like this one. This was pretty good." Oh, cool. Okay. Stop production. Stop the production.
We can't have any of that now, you guys.
Can't have that. But wasn't there a female?
Boys liked it, I see. What?
Yeah, and there's a female in it who was cool and people liked her
because it was good.
And but no, can't have that.
Success is invisible. That's the thing. They only look at like what people complain at, but like no one complained about that because it's awesome.
Yeah, also Bloodstone. Yeah,
they took Bloodstone stuff. I mean, Ulysses Bloodstone, a very rare Marvel character. And,
yeah. Well, Elsa's a legit character. Well, I've seen her in
the comics too, but
right?
Yeah.
Yep. She was good. For sure, yeah, she was good.
And they did the Quentin Tarantino cheat of like it was black and white so they could have blood in it.
Oh, that was smart.
So whenever she slices someone, blood comes out. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, smart. Yeah, so they immediately stopped production. They were literally filming the next one, and they saw on Twitter everyone liked it. And like, oh crap, we got to stop it. And then everyone got fired, and it was the whole thing.
Even though I know you're kidding, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's probably true.
Well, they're doing She-Hulk season 2. I can't believe it.
They're just saying that.
No way.
Oh God.
I don't know, man.
If I screwed up in my job as much as this is happening, like I would have been fired like 100 times by now. Anyway, okay, so this is all really interesting stuff because this is now we haven't really had Darkseid talking this much, I don't think, until now. Yeah. Like there's a lot of dialogue here.
So Godfrey says something interesting here. He says, I believe in anti-life great Darkseid, but it can only be induced in others by the means of inventive selling.
Right.
And so he thinks that anti-life is just a fable too, and
Yeah,
the other side's like,
exactly.
no, it's a real thing. It's like,
Yep.
no, it's one of these guys has it, man. It's like it's around here somewhere. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Godfrey, I don't like. He's a worm, right? He doesn't care. He's like, oh yeah. Well, we're tricking everybody. It's like, no. We're not. He's saying it exists. It's locked in the mind of someone here on Earth.
Yeah. So someone here.
So we're not sure. Like, so we're speculating now that it's one of the guys who are with Orion, who he's protecting, that he rescued, in whatever issue it was, issue 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll create chaos here, shake up the planet, shake up that mind. We don't know whose mind it is. And he's like, well, I've got a lot of guys that can help me. And he's like, I beg to depart from this petty situation. Sire's like, okay. The side, what the shit? It's like, he doesn't like Godfrey. He calls him a bumpkin, which is great.
Yeah.
So am I supposed to be on Desaad's side here? Like, it's weird. It's like, who am I, because I don't want to be agreeing with Desaad because he's like a maniac. Yeah. So I don't know.
So he's taking those humans to his camp, his terror camp or whatever. Kingdom of the Damned, right? So,
yeah, Kingdom of the Damned, which we're going to see next time. So that's there you go.
Dun.
Nice. That is it.
I think they had a letter from Bob.
Oh, okay.
They had a letter from Bob Rosakis in one of these. The Answer Man. Anyway, nobody. Oh no, I think this is the one with the Harlan Ellison letter.
Oh, there you go, Harlan Ellison. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long ass. That's long. That's a good letter.
Cool.
Dear editor.
So
go ahead, Sean.
No, he's a writer. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's like, I got to write this whole thing out or whatever.
Yeah.
Captain Planet.
So the next issue, I was just because it's the next page in my omnibus. It's a Kirby collage with Superman on it. It's Jimmy Olsen 138, but it looks awesome. Anyway.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We're not gonna show that yet. We're gonna see that for the next.
Yeah, keep the channel. We had the Canadian anthem here. And sometimes I catch the American one too. But yeah, it's sign off. So after a while, they're like, we could just like sell more advertising just by running around the clock, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Advertising is where it's at. All right, let's take a look at our poll because we are done now, and there's 10 votes. And favorite issue is, so we've got a tie. 40% Jimmy Olsen, 40% Mr. Miracle, and 20% Forever People. So basically, 2 people voted for Forever People, and 4 and 4 for the other. We have more likes than votes, so I'm guessing some people did not read all of these issues. So there you go. But so Clobby, you voted for Jimmy. You voted for Jimmy Olsen, right?
It's Superman, and the Kirby in the Kirby sphere. Yeah, they're all great. All of these were really good. So it's great stuff. I mean, the quality levels. Expect a high quality level for a very long time with all of these. Obviously, that will vary from bit to bit, time to time. But yeah, I just that was the one I really enjoyed the most. Although again, they're all great. And I like that you like Mr. Miracle. He's a lot of fun.
I would say that Jimmy Olsen's the best because of the action, and Superman's my favorite character of anything. But I'm gonna say, just because I know Jimmy Olsen's already got a lot of votes, I'm gonna say Mr. Miracle because I was completely stunned by this Overlord computer creature thingy.
Yeah,
Granny, I found her to be such a unique character, and she wasn't what I expected based on my knowledge of her now, which means that they've obviously ruined that character. So yeah, what do you think, Sean? Did you vote?
Oh yeah, I voted for Mr. Miracle.
Oh wow! Oh, awesome.
Well, no, I thought they're all awesome, but I don't know. I liked everything that you're saying about it. It's the same thing that I felt with it. I like the character, and And I felt there's a lot of action in that one too. So it's not like all the other ones are actionless or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all cool. And Granny Goodness is crazy. Like
she's crazy. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, Granny. I remember her from the animated series.
Yeah.
I've got all that on DVD, and I remember the figures, and so I'm looking at if there's any cool figures. I'm looking forward to Big Barda coming up.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh my God. Oh, just a theory. Somebody had a theory that someone from that Man and Lois show was Granny Goodness, but like that was not her. I watched that season. Basically, Superman cries at least 4. No, he doesn't cry. He gets beat up every episode.
Oh, of course.
But you know what? To make it equal, Supergirl gets beat up in every episode of her show too. So both they both equally suck in their own shows.
Do they have a complete series now of that for Blu-ray?
What? That guy in Superman?
No, that got renewed.
I mean Lois.
Oh,
Man and Lois got renewed.
Man and Lois
got renewed for season 4.
I only watched the first season, and a couple episodes of the second season of Supergirl. I couldn't take it anymore.
I finished Supergirl. I finished the whole thing. I like her as Supergirl, but that's it.
I like her.
That's it.
It's a shame they put her in like a boy outfit.
Ooh. They Supergirl had pants in some of the in comics too, and it sucked. It just looked like shit. Just do the normal Supergirl outfit. It's not that hard to do. They had it in the first 5 seasons or something.
And yet, as you pointed out, whenever she's like the disguise, she's all sexed up. It's like, well, wait a minute. So it's just a virtue signal then. It's not an actual philosophy.
Correct. Yeah.
Women.
She's not sexed up as Kara, but everyone else is. But like she wears skirts as Kara, so why can't she wear a skirt as Supergirl? Like, I don't understand. And then Lana and the woman, not when Callista Flockhart left, the other woman who took over. And then it's like tight skirts or pants and heels, and it's like, well, they're all sexed up. It's like, so why is it okay for Supergirl, or why Supergirl looked modest? She had the boots that went high,
right,
and the skirt that went a little bit lower. It's like, I don't understand. Like,
no, I got you.
Nobody thought that was weird anyways. It's just Supergirl. Nobody thought that was a weird.
The writing on that show always bothered me, and I stopped.
Yes, it was horrible.
Yeah, the season 1 stuff, it was morally ambiguous, and it didn't seem like it was like that on purpose. It seemed like that's where the writers were coming from, and they didn't know what they were doing was wrong. It was just weird. I think the one where Red Tornado turned up was the one where I was like, "There's something wrong with these guys." Like, where
I forgot.
Red Tornado he's just a robot, but he's turning sentient, and Supergirl's fighting him, and then he turns full sentient, and then they're like, he's fully sentient now, and that's supposed to be a problem somehow. And then Supergirl kills him because they have a through line in that episode that she's angry all the time and frustrated, and she can't express herself.
Yes.
And I was like, what's happening? He now is self-aware, and it's okay to kill him. But do they know what sentience means?
No.
I was like,
they should have killed them before. If they're going to kill the thing, they should just kill it. It's a mindless robot destroying stuff.
I don't know how him being sentient is a problem. Then
that should have been the solution to the problem, because then she would have said, "Oh, we can convince him to be a good guy."
But
then I thought he'd stay on.
Yeah, there's other weird things. It's like there's one where everyone is being hypnotized to jump off the building, and she saves Jimmy and the other guy that's Toyman's son or whatever, the principal characters, right? And the one woman she doesn't save falls to her death, and she's like, and she looks back at her desk at one point and then moves on, and there's no warning at all for that woman, and it's like, well, wait a minute, what happened here? You saved your friends because they're your friends. You're Supergirl, you could save all 3. Why did they even set up this scenario? It doesn't. It's like
there's way more.
It's like no, that show. That show. I get it. Supergirl. She looks awesome as the character.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get with the writing, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you should have been on your iPad while watching it. That's how I got through all of it.
Yeah.
I just looked up when it was Supergirl fighting someone. So
Yeah.
you guys watch things. You don't understand how to watch these shows. My wife reads manga and I'm reading like Silver Age comics. And then when something cool happens, we look up and like
Wow.
I like this last. I was like, well, there's a lot of fights here. This is really cool. And then they started to talk, and I caught myself listening to some of the dialogue, and it was awful. And they're like, oh, these people are doing this. We should do this. I'm like, no, I don't. No, that doesn't sound right. You shouldn't do that. That's the wrong thing. Like you're pointing out moral ambiguity in the first season. No. If you want moral ambiguity, you need to watch season 7. It's all messed up. I'm like, every character that speaks is completely wrong.
Wow.
Like, not Supergirl herself, but they come up and talk to her. And Jimmy Olsen has a sister in it.
Yeah.
She's the worst character. I literally, I'll tell you this. I've never fast forwarded in She-Hulk. I never fast forwarded in pick any of these really bad ones. The Falcon Soldier, Falcon thing. I fast forwarded all her scenes. Like there was like 3 episodes left, and I'm like, I've got 3 left. I'm like, I couldn't make it. I thought anytime she came on to talk, I just fast forward. I can't. The word, everything she said, and then she would say the opposite of whatever it was, just to say the opposite. And I'm like, is Supergirl gonna be right in her own show? And this happens in The Flash too. Every time Barry speaks, Iris is always right, and Flash is always wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll say something, say no, oh god.
Well, it took season 2, the beginning of that, of Supergirl to chase me away with what they did to Manel.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know.
I saw it also. Yeah, I saw it also.
Well,
I know
first of all, I'm going, oh yeah, Manel, what? Daxam is at war with Krypton. Almost.
Fudge.
Fudge you. Screw that. I was already not happy because there was an episode before that where the whole world was taken over by everything, including Superman. But Supergirl could handle it. And
of course,
then he used to send her like when she would handle something, because instead of him, he says, "Hey, you did it, and you did it better than I ever could have." Shut up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can I say something which I don't know? I think I understand. I think I know what you guys are going to say. We're done talking about the fourth wall, guys. We'll wrap this up in a minute. But it's something that I've never liked, and I don't know. I really don't like this. Because this reminded me when I watched Supergirl, the Helen Slater movie. I like that Argo City was like a piece of Krypton that was encased in that bubble or whatever. And then Supergirl's like, oh, I gotta go. Like then they got the kryptonite poisoning or whatever it was, and then she had to leave or whatever. And they're like, well, we know where Superman went. Why don't we send you there? At least you can have someone like a friend or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I don't, and then I know you guys don't like John Byrne or whatever. He got rid of all of that. There is no Kryptonians. And then Peter David came in and did the Matrix stuff, where she was this Matrix thing. But which I did like. So we're not going to argue that. I liked it. Some people didn't. That's fine. But hold on a second. So then after that, the next iteration of Supergirl, they changed it to where they said that she was supposed to protect Kal-El, and then she got trapped or in some time thing or whatever, and then he landed first. I hate that idea.
Yeah.
I don't like that idea at all, because why is she protecting Clark? And then ever since that idea came into existence, every effing time I have to hear, oh, well, she was going to be stronger than him and she was supposed to be smarter and all this. It's like, I absolutely hate that idea. And that's the idea that they keep revamping that idea.
I don't like
but that's not what it is. She's just simply older than him. It's not that she was like stronger than, it's like she's just older than him, and then she wasn't because of some time warp bullshit. Yeah.
I don't like that though. And I don't, but they added she's supposed to protect him. That was the thing. And they keep going back to this in all these new versions now of Supergirl. Everything you see with Supergirl now is that. I don't know who made that story. I literally don't know. I don't know who came up with that idea. But I hated it.
I don't know. I thought she was reintroduced in current continuity in the Batman Superman comics of the late 90s, early 2000s, I think. Early 2000s, I think.
I think so, yeah. That was totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually, I think in the second Batman Superman movie, after Public Enemies, they did that story, where she comes in.
Yeah, to protect. She was supposed to
right.
protect him or whatever, but it was a time
I can't
warp or
remember
something.
that angle of it, and if it was mentioned, it was just mentioned, and it wasn't actually.
No, that's the angle. Clobby, am I right? No, that's the angle. They're saying that she was supposed to go to protect him or something. Not that
In
they were
Public Enemies?
No. In
after,
general, just in
the comics.
In comics.
Yeah, which is why I love Supergirl, fine. I've never thought she had a satisfactory origin that is well defined. It's all over the place, as you just arduously put together. John, J-Man, you did. The one from the movie, from the Helen Slater movie, which is cute and is incomprehensible. It's absolutely incoherent.
Yeah, that's silly.
I don't know what's going on in that movie. You can sit there, we can sit next to each other, and you can fast forward it backwards and forwards 20 times. I don't know what that origin means. I'm like, what are you trying to say here? What is she from? Why is Argo's, what you been calling it? Where's Zor-El? Where's any of this stuff? They just said, okay, she's this girl. She's cousin to Superman for some reason, even though it's not Krypton. And the guy comes around messing with this little stick with this little ball thingy. Oops, it gets lost. And they said, well, I'm going to get my ass thrown into the Phantom Zone for some reason. And then she decides to get... She already knows everything about Superman for some reason. Why do they know anything about Superman? Next thing we know, she gets sent to Earth. I remember when we first saw it in theater, I'm like, did my brain fall out? And I got to put it back in. And did I miss a whole... I said, what's happened? Why did that happen?
They did not explain that. When I read it. Yeah. You're right, because I've seen that movie 100 times. And then I read the comics, like the Supergirl appearances, like I'm reading Adventure and all of that in action. I was like, oh shit, this is explained way better in the comic. Whether you like it or not, it's explained better.
Better than that, anyway.
Better than that. So then I just took that in my mind. And when I rewatched Supergirl just recently, I just pretended it was that. And instead of everyone getting kryptonite poisoning from them being broken off because of the explosion, they're just saying the Omega Hedron is like, if the Omega Hedron is the energy source which is powering everything on Argo City, why are they giving it to a guy to
Where
just
are
use?
they?
Like, it's like,
where are they in the beginning of that movie?
They're in another dimension.
They're in another dimension, yeah.
And that's why when she leaves, she comes out of the lake. So they're like molecularized or something. I don't know. I only know this from an interview with one of the Salkins.
No, they say that
online. It's not in the movie.
No. Hold on. It is. They're in inner space and they're in outer space. And
why do they know who Superman is?
Yeah, that's random. They just happen to know that.
Your cousin's on this planet. Why? How do you know this?
It's so.
She sees a poster and it's like, that's my cousin. It's like, how do you even know what he looks like now? It's
exactly.
They have Legion technology. They've got that Visi screen thing that they've got where they can see anything. That's what it is. We didn't see it. It was at a cut scene. It was in the corner. They have that thing.
She doesn't have a satisfactory origin, but I still like her and all that stuff. But
I certainly don't like these. She was sent to protect baby Kal-El because
I don't like that either. I mean, and if you're going to do that, it needs to be done better. It needs to come up with something better than that.
For sure. You know? And Penguin now is just a gangster. That's all they.
Why couldn't it simply have been on the other side of the planet? There was another, Zor-El's cousin, Zor-El's brother had the same predicament. He had a young child as well. They developed the same plan. And just her ship hits a time warp.
You go.
That's easier. It's like, okay, boom, right, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, that is that. Monday I'm on Clobberin Times, and then
I will have that topic for you soon, but I'm still not 100% settled yet.
You can tell me the same day. I'll just read.
I know I'm having trouble just choosing sometimes.
And then Thursday we're doing the Transformers cartoons. And then Friday we're back for Fourth World. Whatever the next three are, I'll post it. So Sean, what do you got going on?
I'm gonna put up more horror radio stuff on my channel, and I just put up Tales from the Crypt 20 overview. So if you want to check that out, it's all the stories and everything and the history of it.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. And Clobby, you're on Nick. Are you with Nick tonight or?
Actually, there's no 32 flavors tonight. The boys off tonight, so I will be just I don't know, hanging around. I think maybe Mark D will do something. We'll hang out and celebrate some Star Trek somehow. It's Star Trek Day, folks. Celebrate real Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes, really. Okay. And then so Monday we're doing Earth B.
Oh, then tomorrow night, of course, is Saturday Night Star Trek.
Yeah.
A legendary
Voyager.
episode, because we've got the most legendary Voyager piece of garbage episode of all time. Or is it? Maybe it's the best episode of all time.
I'm going to say best.
Yeah, but you would. If there can't be a best if they're all great.
They can all be the best.
That's just isn't how it works. Sorry, but it's not how it works.
It does. I just checked my encyclopedia. It says.
J-Man is the smartest being who's ever lived.
All right. And then, yes, just start Saturday Night Star Trek. Okay. So I guess that's it, everybody. White Shadow, thank you. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Cool. So thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess that is that. I've been really enjoying these. So let's see what happens.
Me too, man. I really have enjoyed it. I love doing this.
It's so good. And we're going to continue with Kirby Fridays then for a while, even after this, because I'm already getting nervous that it's ending. I was like, oh, and I already start thinking like, what can we do next? And I'm start looking.
We'll never run out.
We will never run out.
I mean, you can pick anything. I don't even just mean Kirby. I mean, there's all kind of cool stuff. But yes. So.
Yes.
In fact, I got one I'm
ahead,
going to propose to both of you after we do this.
Oh yeah, once we end off propose, yeah, let me know let me know. So all right, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll see you again.
Later, Gators.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.